Hello everyone, welcome. It's Monday night, it's Monday the 2nd. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, so soon with my coffee. Thank you so much, that's perfect timing. What? What? What's wrong? Thank you. That is lovely. Welcome everyone. Great video today. Thanks very much, mate. You're always very kind in the comments. Appreciate it. How am I doing? I'm fine. I'm a bit hot for some reason. A little bit hot today. Hi Matt, welcome. Nick, Tracy, Crystal Clean, welcome. Millhouse, Ramsey, Barkley, Anthony, Mills, Luke. Get your marigolds on. Jay out of Inverters. Oh yeah, I remember that. Thanks very much. This is all in aid of... God, it's hot. I've got a new helmet. Oh man. These are so tight.
This is meant to be on properly.
What do you mean?
Is that on properly?
Yeah. Press to check.
What's it meant to do when you press it?
I actually don't know. I think it's
you wasn't doing anything.
To check that you can breathe or check that it's got suction or something. I'm actually not sure. No idea. Welcome everyone. Site work on the horizon. I've actually just me and Jakey are booked on for an IPAF course. I've been using cherry pickers and spider lifts and stuff, and as an employer I'm allowed to use them with, you know, adequate training from the like the higher places and stuff with their instruction, but because Jakey's my employee, he hasn't been able to use it. I've got a responsibility to make sure that he has proper certified training and then he gets his IPAF license. So we're both doing our IPAF tomorrow, and it's the 3B and 1B. I think it is. GT access. When can we ask questions?
Do you remember this one?
Ever see that Doctor Who episode with the kind of gas mask? No.
Kids. Oh, it was creepy, man.
I don't watch Doctor Who. I never have.
They were like, are you my mommy?
Welcome everyone. So I'm doing training. So I'm going with GT Access, which is just in Bromsgrove, IPAF operator, and we're doing the 3B and the 1B. So it's a static boom and a mobile boom. So these are like the spider lifts that we've used before, that I've used before, and then the mobile ones. Bloody expensive, man, because thing is, the course itself is 240 quid plus VAT, and then to get the photo, to get the card, thank you Soph, to get the card it's an extra 10 quid each plus VAT. You also need a harness, which is like, it's got like, it has to have multiple points of adjustment, and it's got to be like a very specific harness. It can't just be a basic screw fix one that I've got at the moment. To buy the harness it's like 75 quid each plus VAT, or to just hire it on the day it's 20 quid each plus VAT. They said the one I've got isn't going to suffice. And then you need a hard hat, you need some gloves, you need high vis. Your harness needs to be, if you're bringing your own, you need to have proof of purchase or proof of inspection within the last 6 months, else they won't let you wear your own harness. There's a lot to it, man, a lot to it. So, and I think there's an exam as well that you have to like pass, so that's fun. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. Hence all this. Oh, dearie me. Howdy Jack, welcome. Thank you. When can we ask questions? Fire away, mate. What do you want to know? Sam, welcome. Fred. Yeah, because basically we've got a roof clean on Wednesday. You can just like ring up the day before, and they seem to have courses on like every day, which is pretty cool. So we've got a roof clean on Wednesday, which we wanted to use a cherry picker on. So that's cool. And I just wanted to get Jakey like fully trained up so he can be proper. Welcome Grime to Prime. Grime to Prime has just passed me on a massive roof clean that I'm going to be looking at. So that's nice of him. How long is the course? It's all day. It's like 7:45 till 4:30, so it's quite a lengthy one. For my day off, that's quite a lengthy one. Are you doing TikTok video where you watch clips of fails and judge the health and safety? That'd be cool. I could do that. I could wear my hat and do that, couldn't I? Judge everyone. Picked up my PL policy with Howdens today. Ollie was ace, incredible service. Nice. Public liability, nice. I'm not late. You're late. I got funding for my course via CITB. They gave up to 1,200 quid every 6 months or so. Oh, maybe I should have looked into that. Can you do retrospective funding? Like, can I say, I've paid for this course. Can you refund me? Probably a bit late now, isn't it? Yeah, it's almost 700 quid. Just to do the day tomorrow for two of us. Speaking of training, what ones have you done and would recommend? I'm doing the Pure Seal level 1 next week, and we'll do the Biocide online training sometime. I think if you're doing the module 1 Pure Seal course, I don't think you need to do the Biocide training as well. I think that's included in the course as far as I'm aware. But yeah, it's a good one. I did module 1 and I thoroughly recommend it. Evening Lindsay, revive and refresh, welcome. I'm 17-year-old inspiring entrepreneur, welcome Jack. Wants to start a handyman business when I leave sixth form in 2 years. Would you recommend I offer the type of services you offer? I mean, pressure washing is probably, other than window cleaning, it's probably got one of the lowest barriers to entry with regards to most trades. Some people might argue with me on this, but I would suggest that it's very low skill to get involved in, but as you start to understand more and do more, you realize it's actually a much broader discipline than you expect. You think, oh, it's just pressure washing, like anyone can do pressure washing, which they can, but there's a lot more to it than that. So it also depends, like if you're leaving sixth form, will you be driving? Because that's a big part of this job, is lots of heavy equipment and having to, well, not lots of heavy equipment, like 1 or 2 pieces of heavy equipment, having some way of getting it round regularly and reliably. But yeah, if it's things like, your issue is going to be insuring a van, because we've tried to get Jakey insured on a little van, and any commercial vehicle, the insurance is just insane, particularly for work. So that's going to be the biggest thing, is like, you might want to try and find either a car derived van or something kind of people carrier-ish. So you've got, like, people carriers are generally quite safe, so they're quite low insurance groups, and all you'd have to do is like take the back seats out, and then you've got all the space similar to a van. So I'd go down that route personally. And yeah, you could start doing like garden clearances. I wouldn't, when it comes to handyman, I'd recommend either indoor or outdoor. I wouldn't do both. Like, I wouldn't do a bit of plumbing and a bit of decorating and also a bit of garden maintenance and stuff. I'd just choose one or the other personally. Any advice for someone whose pressure washing business has fell flat on its face and regularly advertising and offering offers, etc.? I don't think you're on your own, mate. I think let's actually do a little poll in the chat, because I think a lot of, where's my thing gone? I think a lot of people are quiet at the minute. I don't think it's just you. And so it's weird because a lot of how do I do this? Poll. Are you unusually quiet? Let's see what people say in the chat. Even the people on you know, the SEO guys on Facebook that do all the paid leads and stuff, even they're saying that it's the quietest May. Well, it's not May anymore. What are we in? We're in June now. Even they're saying that it's unusually super quiet. So how old are you? I am oh, you might be talking to the other chap. I'm 30 I think I'm 33. 1992. I think I'm 33. Can you do a tax write-off against any of that training? Yeah, it'll all be tax deductible. You can even your accountant's fees are tax deductible. It wasn't in mine. You got 10% off the biocide course. Oh, okay, so it's not in the module 1 course anymore. Okay. Also, I've just won a job for 1.3k this afternoon. Proper spring in my step walking into Morrison's afterwards. Recommendations for a machine renting places up north. I couldn't help you, I'm afraid, mate, but congrats on the job. What is the job? Is it just a big residential place or is it a commercial job? Tarmac job looked great. Thanks, mate. Thanks for watching the video. Lost my mum and lots of other things. If I could turn back time and do differently, you will make a fortune on vans. Yes, as Jake says, use a car roof rack. Fully grown man living with his parents, teddies, the lot. Are you talking about me? This is my son's room. I am the parent in this relationship. My boy stays with us like 3 nights a week. 3 days. Yeah, 2 nights, 3 days a week. And I built this bed and desk and stuff for him. And I thought, while he's not here, it might as well double up as a bit of an office for me. His boy's room, you pudding. I've never heard anyone call someone a pudding before. I like that. I think I'm going to start using that one. I'm only about 6 months in, heard nothing for the last week and approached 4 quotes just today. And you've been approached for 4 quotes just today. It's always up and down. Yes, it is always up and down. I've done 4 quotes today as well, just in between jobs. And also I'm just looking back through some of my old messages. I've realised I've been missing messages and stuff, so I'm going back through those. But we're not quiet, and I think it's solely down to my social media presence, because, well, it has to be, because we don't advertise at all, and we post a ton on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and stuff, so I think that's the way forward. I honestly do. I'm not special. What's going on? I can hear a load of static. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm not special with regards to like this, you know, the social media stuff. I'm busy because we post a lot of content. It's not because I'm a YouTuber. I think people think, oh, just because, you know, Jake's got the YouTube channel, that's where all his work comes from, and it's not the case at all. I'd say maybe 5% of my work comes from people who have seen me on YouTube, and they probably saw me on like Facebook and Instagram first. I'd recommend to anyone, man, just hammer the social media stuff. Stop paying for ads. Stop paying for leads. I wouldn't even necessarily recommend leaflets and stuff. I would just say post everything you do. Look at Joe's Jets. Joe's Jets is absolutely killing it. She's constantly busy, and it's because she's uploading stuff on Facebook every day. Nearly hit 300k on a video on TikTok. Nice. Yeah, man. 51% of you say you are unusually quiet, and that's out of 30 votes. Don't tell me to stop spending money on ads. Craig's the exception. Craig spends about £48 a day on adverts or something. What was it? 25 or 45 or something each day on adverts. But if you can get that work without having to spend the money, which is what I'm doing, obviously we £46 a day. Obviously we do things differently, and you do what works for you, and you know the leaflet market because you used to work in like a leaflet printer agency place. But I feel like I know social media, and it's so powerful. The reach and the potential. Did your mum teach you how to clean so good? Builder, are you all right? Are you okay, mate? I don't think I've seen your name in the chat before, and so far you just excuses. You have a star fan called Anthony fight in your corner. I don't think we need to fight, mate. I don't know what your problem is. If you want to contribute, I'm happy to chat to you. But you seem like you're just trying to cause a bit of trouble, mate. Hard to answer. Being quiet because I've also got a 9 to 5. Yeah, it's difficult to know when you've also got another job, whether like this is normal or not. I'm just here to wind people up. Fair enough. How did you acquire your skills? I just started going, mate. I just started. No, you don't need to ban him. No, it's fine. I just started doing it and picking bits up along the way, and because I'm like actively interested in it, I sort of did my own research, and I think you can tell that I'm like passionate about pressure washing, and it seems a bit sad really to be like excited. I am quite excited about stuff like that. And to be fair, part of the reason I'm excited about it is because things happen. Like opportunities come out of like social media and videos and stuff, which you wouldn't normally have in if you were just like a regular pressure washer. Not that I'm special or anything, but good night, girly. You're supposed to be in bed. Opportunities like Nilfisk getting in touch over the last couple of days, wanting to do some sort of collaboration, which I think is really cool. And I spotted something on there. I thought, like, how can we make this like cool for my audience? Oh, I need to get rid of that. There we go. How can we do a collaboration so that it's cool for my audience? And like, I don't think you guys would find it interesting for me to like review one of these machines. They basically said like, we're down for anything. If you want to do like something cool for Instagram, or like a collaboration or a review, or like we can basically send you whatever you want to make a video. So I think that's really cool. And I thought, I mean, my audience isn't necessarily like domestic stuff like this, so I'm not sure that'd really work. And do I want to be like recommending these to homeowners and stuff? Like, maybe that might be cool. But then I came across something on their website which was very cool that I think I might ask them if I can play with. Products, pressure washers. It was mobile. Have a look at this. Look at this. For extreme cleaning. It's for preparing ships, blasting through rust. It's from 500 to 1100 bar. I can't even imagine how that would feel to, like, look at the trigger. It's like a gun. It's like a rifle. Let me show you the video. Look at the trigger. It's huge. What would I even, if I wanted to play with that, where would I even plug it in? Look at the trigger. Thousand bar. I wouldn't have even thought that would be possible with like a handheld thing. Oh, it's got a little float valve inside, look. Is it a hot machine as well? Is it a boiler? That looks like a boiler to me. Feed pumps. Wait, what's a feed pump? Oh, I don't think it's a boiler. I think it like improves the water flow so that it makes sure the machine gets enough water. Tungsten carbide, what was that? I can't. 1100 bar. That is wild. I might email them back and just say, can I play with this? And I'll do a video. I'd probably have to go to them because it's huge. And I wouldn't be able to, how would I power that? That's cool. Smart bit of kit. Look at the size of the hose. Look at the gun. It literally looks like a little sniper rifle. That's sick. Yeah, you'd need like full visor and everything, wouldn't you? Imagine getting a bit of rust in your eye from that. Sick. Nilfisk use aluminium pump, Karcher plastic. Really well. They've got good reviews. I've seen some of the reviews on their newer ones. Could make more power out of a fish tank. You probably need a license to operate that. Do you think? Maybe. One thing I hate is high-vis vest. It's like a target. Could you not do a side-by-side, that jet wash versus yours, so the homeowner can see the difference they are paying for? Yeah, but I mean, if you're doing a video collaborating with Nilfisk, you want it to make their product look favourable. And if what will happen is I'll clean my side of the drive probably like an hour quicker than I'd clean the other side with a little electric Nilfisk, and it's obvious because of the flow rate difference and stuff. But one of them on their website was like, it was like a 10 litre per minute machine with it looked like it had a, which one was it? So I think this one was 200 bar, fine, and then the water flow was 650 LPM, LPH, liters per hour to LPM. 10 litres per minute, well, almost 11. So 200 bar, 11 litres per minute. That, if it's got a turbo nozzle, that would be decent for cleaning a driveway if you're like a homeowner. You know what I mean? that would be a higher, that'd be about the same as the Parker brand petrol machine. And if you can get the benefits of an electric machine with the same power output as a petrol machine, that could be one to try, you know. You can lift that in and out of the car, stick it in the back of the car. I don't know. Maybe. Jake, check my Discord messages when you're off stream and fire me a message back, and I can elaborate. Okay, Dave. Hello, Wayne. You're right, man. Evening, Wayne. The more homeowners have, the less customers for you. Yeah, I'm not really seeing it like that. I don't think me doing one video saying this is a good one for a homeowner is gonna like make me lose that many customers, really. I sent a picture to identify this. Okay, let's have a look. Does anyone know how to remove these rubber tire marks from composite decking? That's a good question. Is that a terrible photo? That is a terrible photo, isn't it? Does someone have their little e-scooter on it or something? I would try Synergy. Synergy might lift it with a good stiff brush. And if that doesn't work, you might need to get some heat on it. Is Synergy good for tire marks? Composite surfaces. Carbon fire damage. Graffiti and paint. Oil, rust, tannin, specialist treatments, egg, blood. I'm going to go with like fire damage. Yeah, I mean, Synergy would be safe on composite decking. I reckon that would be a best bet, personally. Evening, Mick. Welcome. Leave my little Parker out of this. I'm just saying. I was thinking about have any of you guys got like? Oh, look at this. Anthony's won a 1,200 quid decking job. Banger. Have you got tattoos on your leg? That's pretty sick. Sorry, I realised I wasn't showing it. What are those boots? They are very highly polished. That's a big old jobby. Some block paving around the edges. Nice, nice. That bit of limestone on the front there. Looks like it. Big old, is that a concrete driveway? It's not granite, is it? Concrete. Monstrous driveway. Nice, mate. Oh, there's more. That is a big old job. I might have been slightly higher than 1,200 quid on that, to be honest. I don't know. But it's cool. How do I join the live chat today? Do I have to give this man a link? You have to give him a link, you know. What are you charging per square metre for these ceiling jobs you're posting at the moment? The tarmac ones, about £12. That's all in. That's the cleaning, the materials, the ceiling. I've got a minimum charge of around about 400 quid. Don't really want to do it for any less, even if it's like a tiny piddly little pathway or something. Why does Anthony have a star next to his name? He's a member. He's one of my members. So leave him alone. Because he's a paid member of the channel. And so he gets access to this private Discord where people get help and advice and help with their quotes, help to identify different surfaces, chemical advice, sealing advice, roof cleaning advice. This chappie came in today and said, I made the mistake of buying the Equip to Clean roof cleaning pole, and it's absolutely awful. I actually played with this on their training day, which wasn't a training day, it was a sales pitch, but either way. And one of the guys, I remember quite clearly, we were cleaning their sign. It was like the cladding on the side of the place, and they had the Equip to Clean sign at the top. And this is quite a short lad, and he pulled the trigger and it shot back, and I'm not lying, it almost folded him in half. It was so funny. But they're so bendy. I don't know why they're being marketed as a roof cleaning pole, especially with this kit as well, with the flat surface cleaner and stuff. It's just no, don't buy that. Don't buy that for roof cleaning. If you're doing like cladding cleaning or render cleaning or whatever, maybe low pressure. But yeah. Big old job, but I'm just starting out. Couldn't justify going in at 1.5k. Worked out that the block was £3. Concerning measure of the price. Nice one, mate. Congrats. Well done. Builder, you're fine, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't swallow your drink right next to the microphone again. I'm sorry, was that too much for you? Sorry about that. I bought the Nyclean 35-foot power pole with a Turbo Devil flat surface cleaner. Had my first job. I would like to video it. What camera do you recommend? Mick, I've got this one. See that one there? It's a DJI Action 4. And I'd recommend it. I've got it with the, you can do landscape or portrait. It's like 4K, 60 frames per second. You've got slow motion, you've got time lapses. I think it's a nicer image. It's a nicer image than a GoPro. I think all the DJI footage that you get is nicer than any GoPro. It's more cinematic and less sort of action camera-y, which I like. I hate the action camera look, but you sort of need an action camera sometimes. So I got it with the adventure combo, so you get like 3 batteries with it, because by the time you've done like a 2-hour long time lapse or whatever, the battery's probably flat and it's time to replace it with a new one. So things like roof cleaning and stuff, you might end up burning through the battery quite quick if you're doing multiple angles and things. I'd recommend it. Evening, Darren. Welcome, mate. You're right. So you got the Nyclean 35. I can't get Shay's voice out of my head. Ever since I met him at the Cleaning Expo. He's got such a cool accent. And I talk to myself. I talk to myself in his accent sometimes. It's a very cool accent. 35-foot hex. Is it the hex pole? The hex pole is quite cool. It's like a woven, and it's hexagonally shaped because it's called the hex pole, I suppose. I'm guessing this is the kit that you bought. Very cool. It's got the slidey 3D printed thing. It's got a nice wing nut on that instead of a plastic thing. And the little turbo devil. These, I mean, the turbo devils are about 300 quid, aren't they? Decent. we have stars because we give Jack Smelty money each month to confirm how to kiss each other. Mick, use your phone for now, it'd be grand. Yes, exactly. That's a good point. Sorry, Millhouse. You're absolutely right. If you want to start, like, get into filming stuff, YouTube videos or social media stuff, TikToks, just use your phone. Use whatever phone you've got. Stick it on a tripod. That's the first purchase, is like a half decent tripod. Not a little dinger that you can only sit on like a wall or something. Get like a big one. They're only cheap. You can get one for 20 quid from Argos. A decent tripod with like a phone holder. And just start filming stuff. And if you find that you're using that regularly enough, because if you're filming it on your phone, you can just pop it into some editing software on your phone and just trim it down on your phone. Whereas if you're using an action camera, you need to connect your phone to the camera or connect the camera to a PC, pull the footage off of it, then still edit it. And it's just easier and quicker to do it from your phone. I only really use this now for the live stream because you can just plug it in and it just works as a webcam, really cool. And for time lapses, because I'd rather have my phone in my pocket for a long time lapse, that's all. But yeah, if you find that you're using your phone regularly enough for filming, and you think, yeah, okay, now I need a camera, then invest in a camera. But they're like 300-400 quid, so they ain't cheap. I'd wait till you need one. Millhouse, that was good advice, mate. We also compare pole sizes. Yeah, build it. Maybe we should let Builder in just for a week, just to see how he finds it. Sony ZV-1. Can you turn the pressure down on all petrol jet washes or just the more expensive ones? So generally the cheaper ones, the very low end sort of domestic petrol pressure washers, generally only have adjustable revs, which does turn the pressure and the flow down. Some of the better ones that have got like a dedicated unloader valve and proper pump on them and stuff, they have an unloader which you can spin to change the pressure without having to adjust the flow with the revs. Jakey's machine actually only has adjustable revs. Jakey's machine doesn't have an adjustable unloader. The unloader's been set. I think it's a K1 flow sensitive unloader, so it's just been set, and we adjust the pressure by putting either a different nozzle on it, so like a smaller nozzle, or by turning the revs down. Fun fact. Game changer. Don't know about that, mate. It came out of the box just stiff. Pulls the shoulder out of you before you've even started working. What are we talking about? It comes out pre-stiffened. Love my Action 4, great camera, good purchase, nice. Evening, Jake. Could you do a video on the acrylic seal at some point? It seems to be what everyone is pushing towards using. I've used it twice now, but haven't been able to see any videos of others using it. We used it recently in a video. The first time I've ever used it in a video. I've used it a couple of times. Never filmed it. But the most recent time we used it was this one. 3 weeks ago, extreme driveway makeover. And then towards the end of the video, she looks like me, look. Towards the end of the video, if you scroll to about 16:30, we just use it on this Indian sandstone patio. So you might find that interesting to watch. I know Liam has used it on his TikTok recently. I don't know if he posted it in long form, but he LRS. Here he is. We should get Liam on at some point. Liam, if you're about, mate, and you fancy a little chatty, be cool to have you back on. Which one was it? This one. Indian sandstone patio again. I think he was repointing this one. And then, yeah, Macintosh was getting involved. Calling Liam unprofessional. So that was funny. Unnecessary and fun. Anyway, enough of that. Give us an impression of his accent. No, I can't. I can only do it in my head. No, I can't actually do it. I could do it after I spoke to him. I did it really well, and I think Jakey told me that was a really good Irish accent. But then I lost it. Did you get my email? I did, Gaz. Yes, I've seen it. But it's like 7. It was about 7 p.m. when it came through. So I've sort of clocked off now. So I'll get back to you maybe on the course tomorrow on my day off. But Sunday, I think Sunday we've organised, haven't we? We'll figure it out. That's enough. The internet needs to be shut off when you have people paying to a subscription to talk about jet washing and pole sizes. Mate, you'd be surprised. We absolutely love it. We love it, mate. We're very happy in our little community. We've got a good thing going. We also compare tank sizes. We do. We look at each other's ball valves. Check each other's low pressure hoses as well, because we've had some issues with low pressure hoses recently. Who was it? And where was it? Was it in general chat? Look at what Craig's done. The silly Billy. How does this even happen? Is it like over the exhaust? It looks like it's coming off the reel just there. Or is that the high pressure side maybe? Is that a high pressure hose? And that's a low pressure one? Is it expanded? Is it the same hose? It's just this one's expanded because it's melted. Can't tell. Craig, how are you finding those aqua gloves? Do you use those every day? And if so, how often are you replacing them? And are they super hot? We're just using like little nitrile gloves. I keep thinking like neoprene, but I think that's a different thing. We're using nitrile disposable gloves. I like the ones from Screwfix because they're cheaper than everywhere else, and they do the same job. Imagine being open to and admitting your tank is tiny. I'm going to change my branding to pressure washer. I should be at the top of every Google search. Thanks for the inspiration. Need to start doing more videos. It's just all the editing on top of the 9 to 5. Yeah, definitely. It's not easy. It's hard work, and like I guess that's what it takes to. If you want to get to the point where you don't need to advertise, you've either got to be really good at, you know, word of mouth and spreading, like having your customers recommend you to their friends and family and stuff, or I think social media is the key, man. I really do. I think people aren't taking it seriously enough and they don't understand the power of it. I need to make a new YouTube account every month. It comes up payments failed to pay the membership ever since I cancelled YouTube Premium. Really? To be in the Discord? That's very strange. Try a VPN. The Osmo Pocket 3 is good. Was that Jacqueline the Smart in the advert for solar? Maybe. Maybe. Watched the video earlier of Mac. The roof clean was just a carpet of moss. He seems to do good work. He does? Yeah. There's no knocking his work. How'd you spell it? Macintosh Plus? No. AE Macintosh. Has he posted a new one, has he? Oh yeah. This is how it's done. This exact method is how it's done. If you don't do it like me, you're doing it wrong. That is impressive, isn't it? See, I could never imagine doing that with... By the way, aren't you supposed to keep these valleys like free flowing when you're cleaning a roof? Else the water can end up going back up into the roof space. But that's seriously impressive with a flat surface cleaner. I'd be doing that with a turbo. I wouldn't have imagined that was possible to move that sort of moss with a flat surface cleaner. But he's doing it. He's definitely doing it. I wonder if he enjoyed it. To be honest, it looks like he's cleaned that already. No, he hasn't. I was going to say, it looks like he's cleaned it bottom to top and then come down top to bottom, and it's just sort of pushing the moss over it. But it's not, because that moss is clearly stuck to the roof there. I'm not going to watch this whole video, because if you want to see this stuff, you should give him the view and go and watch it on his YouTube channel. This is AE Macintosh. Mossy old cottage roof. There we go. Very impressive. Why is Macca's such an angry man? I have no idea. He has a small pole. I don't know about that. He looks like he's got quite a big one, actually. Night exterior cleaning does well for himself. Does good work. Night exterior cleaning. You guys are going to go and start watching everyone else, aren't you? I clean stuff. How to clean your own patio. I was only a young lad. Let's have a look at you then. Oh, I have seen this guy.
Wear patio from something like this.
A patio. I like his accent as well. Go on, clean
something like patio. This.
Jesus Christ, mate. That's amazing.
Without
That's fantastic.
The need for a pressure washer. Okay, so first things first, what we're going to need. Now we're going to be...
I like him. Subscribed. How's it going? Nolan, welcome. Smart exterior, welcome. Bueno Jefe. Hi, Liam. Liam, do you want to talk to me at some point? I miss you. You use those gloves every day, replace them every 1 or 2 weeks. I get them for £3.50 a pair. Do you find that once you get the insides wet, it's game over? I feel like you can't dry them out unless you leave them on the radiator for like a week. And then the insides just never feel the same again. I used to use them. How long did it take to grow the YouTube channel? Hang on. Is that a serious question from Builder? Or is he taking the piss? I think it might be serious. It's been about 1.5 years now, I think. I spent a good 6 months with like no subscribers. And then all of a sudden, I posted one short and I got about 20,000 subscribers in the space of a week. Oh, 2 years, my first video, 2 years ago. It's not easy, is it? And I'm still getting the same amount of views as I got when I first started posting videos. That's funny. Bet you had fun picking all that moss up. I know. Yeah, that'd have been an absolute mountain. Macintosh needs to do Discord for £4 a month now. Oh, like to undercut me, you mean? Check out Jet Ready. The guy is a cleaning dictionary. What does that even mean? A cleaning dictionary? Harry, Jet Ready is another level. Jet Ready is a legend. God, that's 3 votes for Jet Ready. Jesus, he must be good. You guys are going to go and find all these other people and you're going to leave me. You're going to go and subscribe to their Discord because apparently now everyone uses Discord. Everyone's heard of Discord. I have seen this guy. I've seen him do a render clean, I think. He was like fully PPE'd out of his brains. And he did a great job. Look how happy he is. I need to start doing thumbnails like this. I was thinking about feeding ChatGPT. Let me do that now and see what it does.
Hello?
Sophie, you are live on Big Brother. Please do not swear. Can you please? Okay. Are you in bed?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's up?
Could you get my hat out the van, please? And come and take a photo of me?
Really?
No, it's alright, I'll do it. I'll just leave all these people staring at this happy man. And I'll go and do it myself. Don't worry about it.
I don't even have any trousers on, so that'd be great.
Okay, please don't swear.
I didn't.
Alright, love you.
Love you, bye.
I want to give ChatGPT a couple of photos of me so that it can generate some thumbnail pictures. I've just given away my little secret, what I wanted to do. Damn it. I might do it in a bit. Very informative. Monday nights are reserved for you, matey. Aww. He proper knows his stuff like word for word textbook. That's very cool. I sort of want to hear him now. You've made me want to watch him. Should we just have a little peek? Should we just have a little sticky beak?
Booking.com.
Shut up.
Once again, I've teamed up with Mike Kane from All Seasons Exterior Cleaning. We're working on a large roof clean today. When I say large, I really do mean that. This thing is enormous. It's a slate roof, not particularly dirty, but it is starting to get a little bit of moss here and there.
Okay.
And the homeowner's concerned that it might start to lift the tiles. And the other danger with moss is that if it freezes...
Look, doing this, I give anyone props for doing this. Standing in front of a customer's house, talking to a camera in front of the neighbours and stuff. Like, this takes balls to be able to do that. And it's quite a scary thing to, like... It's a bit of a weird feeling when you start trying to do this for the first time.
It can
And he
lift
looks
the tiles
like
even
he's
more.
a natural.
Being slate, of course, they're very fragile and could easily crack. That'll kill any organic growth up there and provide some longevity to the clean. And these gutters are going to present quite an interesting challenge. No downpipes. And quite cleverly, what happens with the rainwater is that it drips down these chains and into a soakaway. And down at the bottom of the garden, we've got this large beck. I know for a fact this comes from the moors.
Hang on. It's a triangular gutter.
And these gutters...
And it just drips down a chain. What the hell? I've never seen that in my life. Who's thought of that? Chain down pipe. What on earth? Why have I never heard of this? What's the benefit? I don't understand why that's better. Why would that be better than just a downpipe? Why? Why chain downpipe? The primary function of rain chain channeling water is channeling water, but people may also get them for aesthetic reasons. Kasuridori, the rain gutter. Japanese. Kasuridori. Kasuridori. Well, I've learned something new. Yeah, triangular gutter like that must be a bit of a pain to clean as well. Or not. You get the thin nozzle in there, it might do quite a good job.
It's going to present quite an interesting challenge. No downpipes. And quite cleverly, what beck, I know for a fact this comes from the moors and goes directly into the river. And that gives us an interesting problem. How are we going to collect the chemical runoff so it doesn't end up in the beck and eventually in the river? It's a delicate ecosystem because in the river walk we've now got otters and we don't want to be doing anything that's going to cause damage to the food chain.
Fair play.
Fortunately these chains have got a shackle at the bottom, so we should be able to just disconnect them and have it drip straight into the buckets.
Yeah. Why is he setting up a tower on this one? It's like, it looks like the access on the sides is pretty mad. Sheeting it all off. So he is pressure washing it, which is interesting. He's quite
so
low.
much for these fancy drain pipes. They don't blooming work. But our fancy bucket system does work. But it is splashing around a little bit, so I'm going to fit some PVC gutter sleeves just to keep this under control. It's an absolute waterfall there now. Right, you can buy PVC gutter sleeves on Amazon. Quite expensive. Oddly enough, if you search for PVC lay flat tubing, 6 inches, it's half the price. Exactly the same.
Good tip. I like this guy. I can see what you mean. I can see why you guys have recommended him.
So I'll get this chain on this side of the gutters now.
Oh, he's
I'll need
soaked.
my ladders
Look
to
at
get
him.
up there, though.
He's absolutely soaked through. This is the reality of exterior cleaning. Nice Porsche on the drive, don't mind if I do. Clear lay flat pipe. I'm going to get demonetized for this music that I don't have the rights for. I'm sorry, I can't keep watching this. Here was me, Millhouse, cleaning my drive with a Karcher thing. Thinking I'm the cheese. How wrong I was, and I was put to shame by Jake and so many more. Oh, Sean. Was it a big one? How do you like your XJet? I saw a video of you explaining you got it to speed up applying chemicals, but didn't use it in that video. I like the idea of them, and they look easy to use, but do they last? Yeah, I've since I bought that XJet, I haven't replaced it once. There's nothing really to go wrong on them. It's absolutely fine. When did I get mine? This would be interesting to know, actually. I got my XJet here a year ago. Probably over a year ago. When was this video posted? I can't see the date that it was posted. See, this is how I was doing it before. Gardener, backpack and brush. And it works, but it's not ideal. Oh, look at young Jakey. Why doesn't it say the date? Oh, 12th of June. Are we in June now? Yeah, literally. Oh, 2023 that says. 2 years ago I got my XJet, and it's still fine. The only thing that you might need to replace is the quick release bit on this, because they can rust up, even though it's stainless steel. Ben from Rutland Pump said all metal corrodes eventually, and like sodium hypochlorite is like super corrosive. Even he said something like even marine grade stainless steel will corrode underwater because of all the salt and stuff, and that's what's in the sodium hypochlorite. It's like sodium. God, I'm tethered to my computer here. Yeah, I like it. We have our cleaning dictionary. He's called Matt. That is very true. Matt GPT. Chain down pipes are old. They look amazing too. I've never seen one in my life. Jake, you could be like Jet Ready one day. Be patient. Best leave this chat before I end up with a star next to my name. Thanks for watching, Builder. Are you seeing my messages? Tracy, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Have you seen We Clean Property? They do videos. I have not. We Clean Property. Are we doing this now? Is this what we're doing? Clean Property Care? I don't know, mate. I'm not sure. Run an ad while you do it. Might convert Builder in the Discord. Jet Ready is like the Alan Titchmarsh of exterior cleaning. He messed up on that job, I remember, overspill of chemicals. Really? Chain pipes are only really used on properties with large overhanging eaves. There we go. I remember Jet Ready's video where he slipped on that loose sandstone slab. Never felt so helpless. Oh no. I kind of want to see that now. Is that bad? What's the video called? When Things Go Wrong? Was it this one? Or nah? Right, it's a long old video, isn't it? Lots of different clips. Oh, there, look.
Chimney stack again.
Was it a little step? And he's gone up the step. Oh, Jesus. Spraying biocide everywhere.
Crikey. There's a loose flag down there. I went down like a sack of potatoes.
Jesus. How's he done that? He must have stepped on like the very corner of it or something. It's popped off.
Let's carry on then.
He looked like he was in a bit of a panic there, and he didn't look very happy. I think he probably hurt himself, or he was in shock or something.
Crikey.
Or maybe he was just trying to fight with the pole. I don't know. Oh, it's on TikTok, is it? We clean property. This chappy. Door knocking. Where's my volume?
Once you do it, it gets easier and more natural.
Oh, he's got music in the background. I can't. Looks like he's doing well. Consistent uploads. That's what it's all about. And he's telling stories as well. That's how you get the views, isn't it? Tell a story, good visuals, good audio. I need to start telling stories. Maybe I'll be a storyteller one day. How's the proportioner going? The switch tip. It's brilliant. Some people said they've had issues with the O-ring. But I haven't. This is what he's talking about, look. Yeah, I've had no issues with mine. It's been absolutely fine. What happened, earphone users? Was it my sneeze? I'm sorry. Mine got blocked the other day. Trusty Toothpick got it sorted. Pro Cannon sick. You've got the Pro Cannon. Is that the one that shoots it really far? That's pretty cool. Where's the best place to get the X-Jet from? I've been recommending that people don't bother with the X-Jet because of the brass barb fitting that it comes with. I think AC pressure washers used to change them. They'd order in the standard X-Jet M5, and then I think Conrad said that he would switch that barb fitting out for like a little quick release one. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I don't think it is. All the pictures that I've seen have the barb fitting. I would recommend going to Rutland Pumps and getting the ProJet because it has that little quick release firkin on the bottom that makes it really easy to pop the hose off and just like use it to rinse down and stuff. It's super versatile. When you've got a barb fit in there and you've got the hose on there and you've got a little wing nut that clamps the hose on, trying to get that on and off once it's rusted and stuff and it's corroded, it's just a nightmare. So I definitely recommend one of these personally. I'm sure other people have got the other one, and it's absolutely fine. When I bought mine, I'm pretty sure I bought my X-Jet from AC Pressure Washers, and it had that quick release on the bottom. But that was, like I said, that was 2 years ago. I think it was from AC. Hi, do you still do gutters? Not seen you do a gutter video for a while. We do. We did some the other week, but I'm not really filming it in like peak pressure washing season. Mainly a winter service. I'm actually I've decided as well that we're not really going to be offering things like small scale gutter clearing unless it's part of like a bigger project. Gutter fascia soffit washing. We did one today which had been booked in the calendar for a while, but I've been turning them down. I've been just saying, look, we're focusing on pressure washing this time of year. If you want, I can book you in for after summer. So I'm starting to line those jobs up for when summer's over, when the pressure washing work dies off. Or I can pass you on to another local exterior cleaner that would be happy to do it for you. I've been given a few jobs to Bees Knees in Redditch. Some people are happy to wait, other people want it done like right now. But I just don't want to do that work really at the moment. It's not something we're focusing on. It's like, it's a bit of a luxury being able to turn down jobs. So I wouldn't expect everyone to be doing this really. But we're in a position where we're booked up for like 2 months now. We've got like a chock-a-block calendar for the next 2 months. And so trying to squeeze in gutter fascia soffit cleaning because people want it done now, it's like it's not a priority of mine. So I'll just say, like, you can either wait till after summer or I'll pass it on to someone local. And I'm just generally like avoiding work that I don't want to do as well. Like when there's, you know, when you've got like a really old patio that there's no point in between the slabs, it's just like mud or grit, or you think I can pressure wash this, but it's still not going to look good when I'm done. I'm just not doing them jobs. I'm just saying, like, sorry, this one isn't for us. I want to be doing good work, and if it's going to look no different when I'm done, then I don't really want to do it. That's why you wear PPE. If he wasn't, he'd be covered in hypo. Yeah, he was either spraying hypo or biocide up that wall. And yeah, that was probably going all over him, wasn't it? When he fell. Anyone know why my Honda GX390 struggled to start today? Only managed to get it on with the throttle on full bat. Then struggled to hold pressure when I got it on needle. When I got it on, needle was just jumping up and down. It sounds like your unloader might need adjusting. That it's either too... It sounds like the unloader's too far open. And it needs tightening up a little bit. All the other things that I'm thinking of wouldn't cause starting issues. Checked all the oil levels, changed the spark plugs, won't start at all with the throttle down lower than... With the throttle down low, unloader open, just wondering if anyone has had an issue like this. Try adjusting the unloader. You can take the cap off the unloader and adjusting that the nut. Where it's or maybe ring. Where did you get your machine from? maybe call the supplier and just say like, how do I adjust the unloader? Or just tell them your issues. I'm sure they'll be able to point you in the right direction. Any particular tank needed with the project? Tank, I would assume most are fine, just need to be made to hold chems. So Matt, generally we're spraying through a barrel. So I've cut I've cut a hole in an old lid, in an old hypo lid, and that allows me to screw it onto a barrel and secure it quite nicely. I should be able to show you towards the end of this video.
Look at this one.
Oh, I can't fast forward. Why can't I fast forward on this? I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Look at Jake, he got absolutely sprayed before we even started the job. I told him, I said just check this next time you turn your machine on, because I'm not sure it's on all the way and I can't get it on any further. And we both forgot, I think. Any barrel or any tank would work absolutely fine. You want something ideally that's mobile, because you don't really want that hose, the X-Jet hose. You don't want that any longer than around about 1.5 meters, because it takes a while for it to draw the chemical through. It's a Venturi effect, and so the longer the hose, the harder and longer it's going to take to draw the chemical. So you want to keep that hose nice and short. So you don't really want like a tank, like a chemical tank, you know what I mean? You want like a small barrel that you can carry around with you, unless you've got some other idea of how you're gonna plumb everything in. I have the project, lovely bit of kit so far. There you go. There you go. You know when things are going right, when you can cherry pick jobs. Yeah, and I'm trying not to cherry pick jobs. You know what I mean? I'm not turning down good work. This is what I'm talking about, look. I'm turning down rubbish work that we don't really want to be doing until we have to do it. And that's not to say I'm busy all winter either. That's why I'm trying to push jobs back to the winter. While I'm really busy now, I'm trying to set stuff up for the winter so that we're not quiet again like we were last year. Because like December, January, or December, beginning of January was really quiet. So this is what I've done. I could do with making this hose shorter still, because I just sort of loop it 3 or 4 times around the barrel. But this is what we're using the X-Jet from. It's just a sodium hypochlorite container. And that hose has a lid secured onto it. So I've drilled the hole in the lid just smaller than the hose so that it's snug. And so when you screw it onto the barrel, you can adjust how far down into the container you want the hose to be, and it'll stay there. So that's how we do it. And generally we're trying to work with like ideally less than 10 litres at a time in these barrels, because trying to hoik around 25 litres of chemical like this is a nightmare. So sometimes we'll have 2 containers, one empty, one full, and we'll pour half of it into the other one just so they're a little bit more manageable to move around the property. Jake, I get where you're coming from on the jobs, but please don't be like the trades lads that let down so many. We had it here where you could get anyone to do anything, lose out big time. I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm not turning up to quotes and then just never getting back to them. I'll always get back to them and say, I'm sorry, the job's not for us. And don't get me wrong, it's not like every week. It's maybe like 2 a month that we're turning down, because it's just more hassle than it's worth. And sometimes it's like a little job. in the centre of Birmingham, and I've got to like, I know I'm going to be sat in traffic for like 40 minutes just to go and do this little patio, and even though they'll pay, they really want us to do it. I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't really want to charge you that much for the result that I know we're going to get, because it's still not going to look great once we're done. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what you're saying, Millhouse, but I'm booked in to see Darren on Friday, but just wiped me out for a week. I might try the unloader adjustment, as it's been dripping slightly recently. Oh, that'll do it. If you've got a leak on the unloader, that'll do it. It's called chasing, where your machine is trying to suck water, but it's got air as well. So it's the unloader valve doesn't know what to do, because it's constantly trying to siphon air pockets out of that was gonna be my next question. Do you have a leak on the suction hose, or on the trigger, or on the high pressure outlet hose? Because that can cause that chasing where your unloader valve jumps up and down. But I wouldn't have thought that would contribute towards a starting issue, which is why I didn't say it. Do you mix a surfactant with the hypo, or draw it from a neat barrel? We mix a surfactant with it. So if you go on the Pure Seal website and type in Surf Boost, this is what we use. I need to order some of this today, actually. So you only need about 500 ml for a big 25 litre container like this. So it's only a little bit. So we open a fresh one, pour it in, shake it around to mix it, and then try and decant half of that barrel into another one just so it's a bit lighter. Yeah, 500 ml for a 25 litre barrel. Decent value for money. And it's good. It does its job. It foams it up. You always take the water from the customer, right? Yes. We've only got a 250 litre buffer tank in the van, and I very rarely drive around with that full. Most of the time it's got like half a tank of water in it. But there are very, very, very few jobs that you'd be able to do with a 250 litre tank of water. You'd probably be able to do like a path, or a very, very tiny driveway. You might be able to do a small driveway. It's the rinsing really that takes up most of the water. With the nozzles that we use anyway, we use quite high flow nozzles, so you might have enough to like clean the driveway, but you wouldn't have enough to go around afterwards and like rinse down all the doors and windows and rinse the road and stuff like that. That's where you use most of the water. Jake and Jack touching tips, yeah. Yeah, most of the customers don't even question the water supply. It's normally a given that, of course, we're going to use your water. And if they start questioning it or being funny about it, that might not be a customer that you want to get involved with. If they're expecting you to bring your own water to the job, what else are they going to expect of you? You know what I mean? Generally, those sorts of people are quite unreasonable people. No worries, Matt. How do you go about the pressure? If the water's coming out slowly and not with good pressure, what should be done? So that's where generally I'd recommend that people starting out to buy like a low flow machine, so that you can plug straight into the customer's tap, and regardless of whether they've got 10 litres per minute of water coming out of their tap or 20 or 30 in some cases, it doesn't matter, because your machine only requires 10 litres a minute to run, and so you're not going to run it dry. You're absolutely fine. However, you're sort of, the trade-off is that it's going to take you a lot longer to pressure wash that drive, because you've only got 10 litres per minute worth of output. Industry standard is between about 15 and 21 litres per minute of output. And to be honest, I reckon about 50% of properties, and we measure it every day. We've got flow meters hooked up to our low pressure hose, so we know exactly how much the customer's tap is putting out every day on every job, and we look at it every day. And I would say around about 50% of customers' taps in my area, in the West Midlands, Worcestershire, I reckon about 50% of them have 15 litres per minute or more, and the other 50% are obviously 15 litres per minute or less than 15 litres per minute. So if you've got a 21 litre per minute machine and you're hoping to run it from the customer's tap, you're probably going to be running that machine partially dry. You're not going to be feeding it enough water. And that is where a buffer tank comes into play. So this is where you need, you've got a bigger machine, you start to need to carry a buffer tank around with you. And so you also need a van as well, because you've got all this new equipment. So this,
getting your own pressure washing business.
This is what you'd expect. So your customer's water supply goes into one of these bins. And so this is called a buffer tank. And so you've got about, in this tank, I think it's about 110 litres. But generally, Jakey's one on his machine, the chap that works with me, he's got 210 litres in this wheelie bin. So you arrive at the property, and pretty much the first thing you do is hook up the customer's water supply to the tank. And so it starts filling just like this, starts filling up the tank while you're sort of moving the furniture around or setting up your machine or whatever. And when the water gets to the top, it cuts off the flow, so you're not overfilling the tank. But it means that your machine can suck through all of this water before it's got a chance to run dry. And you might, because the customer's water supply is constantly topping up that buffer tank, you're not just burning through all that 250 litres or whatever, and then you've got to stop and wait for it to go back up again. You're getting through that water, but it's also it's filling back up again on its own, because it's still plugged into the customer's tap. So it goes down slower than you expect that it would, but it's still like a much needed piece of kit with these bigger machines. I've got a static one mounted in the back of my van, so I've got 250 litre static tank next to my machine. I don't know if you can see it in the background here. See that tank in the background there? And then Jakey's got like a wheelie bin buffer tank like this one that he can take out of the van. And the reason we left Jakey's machine on a skid on wheels is so that if our hoses weren't long enough or whatever, we can pull Jakey's machine out the van and take everything round to the back of the property, to those hard to access places. Hope that answers your question. Any advice on the administrative/legal side of setting up a company taxes? When you reach your first £1,000 in income, that's when you need to register as like a sole trader. That's when you need to register for self-assessment and start paying tax on your income generated from the business. You don't need to do it until you've earned £1,000, basically, because then they see it as like legitimate income. It's not just like a little side hustle hobby thing. That's in a year, I believe. Other than that, register for self-assessment, which you can do on the Gov website. Public liability insurance, depending on what policy you go with, you can get that for like as little as about £12 a month. If you're working at height and doing roof cleaning and stuff, it goes up considerably from there. And if you want to cover you know, all the stuff in your van, and all that sort of stuff. Like it, I'm with Howden now, and they've sort of tailored everything. Because I'm an employer as well, I've got employer's liability insurance, so I'm basically covered for everything. But register for self-assessment, public liability insurance, and I would get yourself a good accountant. Don't get yourself a cheap accountant, and don't get yourself an accountant that your sole intention is just to save as much money on tax as possible, because it's bigger than that. When you start earning, you know, serious money, you need to show and prove to the banks that you can you know, afford to pay back a loan or a mortgage when you go for some of those bigger purchases and stuff. So if it looks like you've had no income because you've been trying to save all this tax over the last couple of years, you might not be able to like apply for a mortgage, for example. So you've got to be very careful with that sort of stuff. So get a good accountant, and I'd say the other thing is set up a business bank account as soon as possible, and keep everything separate from your personal stuff. That would probably be, with regards to finances, my number one piece of advice for anyone that's starting out. It's very simple to do. I've got like I've got an online Virgin bank account. Go online, set it up for business use. Don't spend that money on personal stuff, and don't buy stuff out of your personal account, because then things get messy when it comes to like receipts and tracking purchases and claiming tax back and all that sort of stuff. It's so much simpler if you just keep it all separate. I get what you're saying. Reference to the cherry picker, Jake. Reference to the cherry picking. Oh, okay. Like, is he using a garbage bin? He is, yeah. Oh, I'm a little bit behind on the chat. I'm very sorry. I'm trying to get through every single message, so if you've typed, I want to read it. You know what I mean? Hi, Jake. Can I put Hypo and Slate? I wouldn't, no. Have a look at Max Clean Pro, or just use Biocide instead. Is this dot to dot? I've just ordered a new gun because it seems to be leaking too. Yeah, that could, yeah, definitely contribute towards it. So if I have a driveway with bricks and they are quite uneven, do you also sometimes take the bricks out, even the base, and put them back? I have done. Some customers have asked me to do that. You can see one of my videos which includes like a bit of a rant about the industry, which you might find interesting. If you go back probably about 6 to 12 months, maybe longer. This one here, just ranting, venting about the industry. Not a clickbaity title, I promise. So you can see me in that thumbnail resetting some blocks. It's fairly easy work. You've just got to be patient with it, I suppose. I just don't like doing it very often because I very rarely carry sharp sand around with me in the van. So it's just like I've got to go to Travis Perkins or B&Q or whatever, buy some sharp sand, come back, and it's like just an extra journey for the job and stuff. So unless the customer explicitly wants me to do it at the quoting stage, I generally won't do it, but I will quote for it if they ask me to. Unless it's like unsalvageable, watch out for things like tree roots, because that is just something you don't want to get involved with. If roots are growing under a drive and that's the cause of the blocks being uneven, because you'll be very surprised at how far those roots will spread. It turns into a massive job, and you'll probably find you'll end up relaying half the drive. If it's just where it's sunk because the water's been pooling, or where the cars have been sat, that's not so bad. Just avoid tree roots. Fan or pencil jets on water-fed pole for UPVC cleaning. How'd you get on with the pencil jets today? To be honest, I prefer fan jets. Although I've only used it today. I've only used pencil jets today for the first time. And I think fan jets are better for rinsing, personally. Alec, welcome. Thoughts on using collapsible water buffer tanks? Space in the car is a premium. Yeah. Collapsible water, but we found a good one a while back, which looked fairly adequate. I don't see why these wouldn't work. Something like that, yeah. I think it'd be absolutely fine. The issue with these, not that we don't move our buffer tank round, but that's because we've got 40 meters of hose on our high pressure reel. So we can keep the pressure washer and the water but where it is. But if you intend on moving this round, even if it's got a quarter, even if it's a quarter full, you're not going to move this. So you've got to be comfortable with the fact that it's going to be in that position. Unless you empty it, and then you can move it. I suppose that's the only... I've just ordered, by the way, Tanks Direct. I've just ordered a 650 litre buffer tank for my latest project, which I'm collaborating with someone with, but that's for another video. We're going to be doing something very cool with our setup that we've got in the van at the minute. Get a suction pump on your buffer tank. Mine's coming in a couple of days. No more waiting for water anymore. So I think I saw Bournemouth Jet Washing talk about this in one of his videos. So you've got, what would it be, like a 12 volt pump, or is it something beefier that would you have to hook it up to, like... Liam, are you around now? Are you about to like jump on and explain this to me? Because I'd like to know what you mean. What flow meter have you got? It's just, I've shown it a couple of times on here. It's just from Amazon. Type in flow meter. Oh, it's right there. $16.99. This one. The hose between the buffer machine needs to be really short. Yeah. That suction hose from your tank to your machine should really be around about 3/4 inch clear wire reinforced hose, so it doesn't collapse when the water's being sucked through. It's a water booster pump. Goes to my inverter. Are you still using the accountant from your previous podcast? He seemed knowledgeable. Can you tell me his name again? His name is Neil, and it's from Omerod and Rutter. Omerod Rutter. These guys. Ask for Neil. He's very, very, very good. He was actually at the wedding that I went to on Saturday night as well. And he's in the, not the Bromsgrove office, I think he's in the Droitwich office. What's the difference between a chartered accountant? What does chartered mean? Yeah, that's the one. Droitwich. Howden sorted me out today. Pay 10 quid more monthly than other quotes, but I'm covered with everything needed and more. Don't go anywhere else. Need property being worked on, cover, all trades covered, etc. There you go. Lion, welcome. Maybe I misheard / misread, but if you have the pressure washer off and connected to a full buffer tank for extended periods, you risk flooding it. Oh, that's interesting. Flooding the pressure washer. If you have the pressure washer turned off and you've got all that water behind it pushing water into the pump while the pressure washer's turned off, you can flood it. I'm not so sure on that, mate. Doesn't sound right to me. The water just goes through the pump, it doesn't go through the engine or anything, you know what I mean? Thanks for the advice. Would you advise doing the business bank account even before the first £1,000 just so it's there set up? Assume there's no consequences if things don't work out. Yeah, I'd definitely do it, mate. There's no harm in doing it. It doesn't cost any money. What should an ideal bar for a pressure washer be? I have one, what I've been using for cleaning cars, etc. However, what is the range for pressure washing driveways? I'd say anything upwards of 150 bar. Don't be too distracted by the pressure. Anything above 150 bar should be fine, but you've got to pay more attention to the flow of the machine. For driveway cleaning, the sort of cheap budget, you know, sort of Chinese petrol pressure washers, they'll try and wow you with like 4,000 psi or whatever, but it's the flow rate that you want to be more focused on. Anything between about 10 and 13 litres per minute, or sort of 9 and 13 litres per minute, is like hobbyist adequate, but it's not going to do the job very quickly. 15 to 21 litres per minute is really what you want to be aiming for if you want to take this seriously. No harm in getting like a... I should probably turn this light on. There's no harm in getting a cheaper one, just to get you going, get a few jobs under your belt, and those few jobs will pay for a bigger machine, which is how I did it. I think that's a good way to go if you're not sure whether this is the industry for you, you know what I mean? If you're not sure whether you're cut out for this type of work or whether you think you'd enjoy it or not. Bit dark in here, isn't it? The best bank account for business? I can't answer that one. I'm with Virgin Money, but I've realised they don't really have any in-store branches unless you go into some of the big cities. So if I want support, their online support is like non-existent. You've got to sort of go in branch. But it's done everything I wanted it to do so far. You do that thing where you can get a check from an old dear and just scan it on the app and it's in your bank like the next day, which is quite handy. Yeah, people talk a lot about metal. £50 referral, yeah. Timestamp 9:45. What? Oh, Tuesday. If you're just starting out now, that business, how do you find jobs? If you just starting now, that business, how you find jobs? Pressure washing, if you're just starting a pressure washing business, how do you find work? I mean, my best piece of advice would be to start doing jobs for friends and family. I wouldn't do it for free. I'd just do it cheaper than your normal rate, or what you think your normal rate's going to be. Start doing jobs, take photos of everything, take pictures of your new machine, take photos of your new equipment, take before and after photos on each job, take videos, set up your social media, start posting stories and photos, try and be consistent with it, post multiple times a week, even if it's not totally pressure washing related. people like to see a story. They like to see a success story. So they want to see when you've just started out with this very basic equipment, and they like to see the growth. And so if you keep posting consistently and people can see you're getting these little wins and you're sort of getting bigger jobs and you're getting more experience and stuff, people will start following you based on you, not because you're a local pressure washer, but because you're more of like a personality, like an online, not brand I suppose, but more like a someone to follow, someone that's got something interesting going on. And you'd be surprised how many people like to support or like to see small businesses be successful. Sometimes it's easy to think everyone's out to get you and no one wants you to win, based on like a lot of stuff you see online. It's like people just making fun of failure, but actually you'll find that in the real world, people actually, especially your customers, when you've done a couple of jobs for a few customers and you treat them well and you do a real good job, they will be your number one fan forever. You know what I mean? Those are the people that will support you. They'll post on their local community forums and say 100% recommend Jake. He's done multiple jobs for us. He's great. Start posting stuff online, Facebook, Instagram, and get your family and friends, those people that you did those jobs for, to just share those posts onto their Facebook pages. So suddenly your little post on your page with no followers, your sister shares the job that you did for her, and then all her friends see it. Your mom shares the patio that you did for her, and then all your mom's friends see it. And that really is how easy it is to start generating some traction, because you can guarantee you'll get a few jobs from each of these and you've still got no followers. You know what I mean? It's the snowball effect. Little things every day contribute towards the greater goal. To start a business account, you'll likely need proof of business. Yes, that is very true. I think you might also need to have registered for self-assessment on the Gov website. Actually, you make a good point. Yeah, I think register first, then create a business account. You could try it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you might be right, Anthony. Is it Anthony or Anthony? Sorry. You've been here for ages and I still don't know how to say that. Jake, do you know of any insulated water-fed poles, as I have a roof clean to do next to a power line? I had it shrouded but still nervous. I think Gardener. I don't think CleanLink have got any at the moment, although I might be wrong. Oh, so it's a roof clean. I'm not sure which of the Gardener poles are suitable for roof cleaning. I'm sorry, mate, I can't help you. I'll be here forever trying to read all this. I think some of them are insulated, but you have to check. There's a pole guide on here as well. I'm not sure. Sorry, I can't answer that question. Someone else in chat might be able to. Anyone know what the going rate for re-leveling? I've missed it. God, am I really that far behind? Anyone know what the going rate for re-leveling block paving per square meter? No idea. I just look at how long I think it's going to take me and how many, plus the cost of how many bags of sharp sand I'll need. Generally with the insulated poles, it's only the first section that's insulated. The rest of them aren't. And that's why that chap got electrocuted. Squeaky Clean Dave has done like a mini docu-series about him. I can't remember the chap's name. But the lower part of the pole he was using was insulated. But he had his hand on the second section of pole that wasn't. Business bank account took me 5 minutes. Just downloaded Metal and set it up like you would set an account up for anything. Only need to involve government for tax purposes. i.e. registering for self-assessment, etc. I'll have to do that in 2 weeks' time. It's a qualification. Anyone can say they're an accountant, but a chartered accountant needs rigorous professional qualification. Oh, okay, that's good to know. What do you do when a customer doesn't have a drain near where you're pressure washing, or if the drain is blocked up? Charge more, first of all. If you know that drainage is going to be a pain, you need to account for that in the quote. You can even explain to the customer, look, there's no drainage solution, and which is why the price is slightly higher, because I know I'm going to run into some issues. A stiff brush is your best friend generally with poor drainage. I think probably 4 out of 5 times we can brush away floods just in a different direction and redirect that water. It's difficult because you're sort of brushing the flooded water, dirty flooded water, across the surface that you've just cleaned, and so it's a balance between getting rid of as much water as possible and then trying to do a quick rinse so you don't flood it again, you know what I mean? And that's quite difficult, but most of the time you get rid of it with a good stiff dozer brush. Otherwise, I'd get into the habit of clearing the drains before you even start. So if they've got like a drain down at the bottom of the drive towards the house and it's full of leaves and crap, I'd pull out all the drain covers and scoop it all out first, so you've got the best chance of having the water drain freely and you're not going to contribute to the problem. Don't wash towards the drain. This is something that I learned like too late, and no one tells you this, but it's something that you just sort of pick up on. You sort of assume, right, I'll wash down towards the drain because that's sort of where I want the crap and the water to go, but actually you want the crap to go in the other direction. So start at the drainage point and wash away from it, particularly if you know that it's going to flood, because at least that area around the drain is going to be clean. You know you've cleaned it. If you start the other end and then it floods, you're trying to clean the paving or the block paving or the patio, which is underneath a flood, and so you're just spraying water everywhere and you can't tell whether you're doing a good job or not. Start at the drainage point and work away, and don't fire loads of sand down into the drain. That's not the goal. The goal is to take the crap and the muck away from the drain, scoop it up into like a woven polypropylene bag so you can drain all the moisture out of it, and then you're just left with a dry bag of dirt then. Inevitably you're going to need to rinse some of it down into the drain, just the very fine bits that you can't scoop up with a dustpan and brush. If the drain is already blocked, you can have a go at putting your lance and your turbo nozzle down into the drain and giving it a couple of bursts. I'd say again, like 50% of the time, I'd say more than that actually, probably 80% of the time, that will clear like a block drain. And then you can sort of get going. Try all sort of different angles as well with the turbo nozzle, because sometimes you expect the drain to sort of just go all the way down, but it doesn't. It sort of goes, and sometimes it bends, or there's like a hole off to the right, and that it's that bit that's blocked. So you've got to sort of try different angles and just give it a burst. Even get your hand down there and just see which direction it's going. Get a dirty wet hand, but you're fine. You say you use a smaller turbo nozzle on Jakey's machine for higher pressure. How many sizes down do you go? I don't think I said it in those exact words, did I? Jakey's turbo nozzle is appropriate for his machine. I think his is an 06 and mine's an 08. If I use his turbo nozzle on my machine, that increases my pressure. You know what I mean? Because I'm putting my water through a smaller orifice, so I can increase my pressure without touching my unloader valve or my needle valve, just by putting a smaller nozzle on. It's good if you want to use less water. If you can down spec your nozzles, particularly for things like roof cleaning, if you don't need super high pressure and high flow, but you just want to use less water because the customer's tap, if you're always running out of water from your buffer tanks or whatever, and you're finding that you're burning through it too quickly to keep up with, and the customer's water's not keeping up, just get a smaller nozzle, smaller turbo nozzle, smaller orifice, and you'll get through the water a bit slower. Jake, where's them lights? It's getting dark. Yeah, I've just turned that one on. Is that how far behind I am? Anyone use a credit union or building society? Often they are free for small business. Not sure. He can't find the light because it's too dark in there. That light is about as bright as my future. He's a vampire. It's a floating head and a wavy hand. Did you find someone to create a logo? If not, I'm very happy to help you with that. Thank you, Lion. I'm looking for someone who can be a full-time member of the Discord and offer a logo pack for anyone who requires it in the Discord. So it'll be potential. I mean, we've got 417 members now in the Discord, and a lot of them want or need new logos. I'm probably one of them, to be fair. And so this person would have their own channel, logo chat or whatever, and exclusively we'll use that person, we'll feed that person work from the Discord, and hopefully that would mean that person benefits from a lot of work and a lot of good recommendations in the Discord, and they become like a member of the Discord, and they're the go-to person for logo design. And also hopefully that will mean people in the Discord get like a cheaper price but still quality work and like a full logo design package. You know what I mean? That's my goal with it. It's not for me. I don't need a logo designer, you know what I mean? Go where the money is. Smout is in a high income area. Use Zoopla to target richer postcodes. There you go. Liam, are you about then? Sorry, mate. I'm really far behind the chat, so I'm sorry if you've been waiting for me. Let's see if you're around. Do. I don't know if he's here still. I am calling him. Wear rubber wellies. Does that help with the with being?
Hello.
Here he is. Hello, matey.
Hang on, mate. Let me mute you because, wow. We're behind. Hello, you alright?
Yeah, you look good, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Jesus Christ.
No, you look hot too. Just 2 seconds. Let me just grab my phone charger.
Yeah, no worries. He's a good-looking chappy today. Got that fresh haircut. Straight from... Where's he been? He's been to Egypt.
I went to Egypt about 2 months ago.
Straight from Egypt with that fresh haircut. I might have to
How
turn...
you doing, mate?
I'm good. I might have to turn this camera off because it's going to kill my battery on my phone soon.
Yeah, go on. That's fine. I was a bit unprepared. I'm just trying to sort myself out.
You don't have to prepare anything, mate. You're good.
No, as in like audio stuff.
Oh, okay. Can
Do
you
I
hear me?
sound alright?
Can you hear me? You sound crispy clean.
Yeah, I can hear you good. Obviously, you're just coming through my laptop because I don't know where my headphones are.
No, you're fine, mate.
No, cool.
What are you
How's
talking
things
about?
going then, sir?
What are you talking about with your pump?
My pump.
Tell me all about your pump.
So there's a guy near me who does exactly the same work, who has a 650 litre tank and a 30 litre a minute machine. And I had a go on it the other day, and he's got a suction pump on his inside of his buffer tank. Basically, he will not run out of water at a job because that suction pump is pulling water from the customer's tap all the way in through his hose and stuff. So he's ordered me one, and I'm going to stick it in my van. Have a go, because I've only got a 250 litre tank, so I would go through water so quickly.
So you can,
But the benefit,
you can have a customer's tap that's putting out 10 litres per minute, and you stick a suction pump on it, and it will pull, what, 15?
yeah. So in theory, yeah, you're kind of doubling your customer's water supply. But I don't actually really know how it works until I've got my hands on it.
And how will that, if you've got the shut-off valve, the float valve on top of
Yeah.
your buffer tank, will that just be like chaos if it's trying to suck water to like a... you know what I mean? If it's shut off.
Yeah. I don't really know. Like I say, I mean, James has got kind of a really neat, it's like a drain jetting system, if you know what I mean. And it's like all neat and tidy, and his buffer tank's all, but it's on the outside of his tank. I want to say it's like the bit in between the hose reel
Yeah.
and the buffer tank.
Yeah.
But I don't really know because I haven't seen it. I've just kind of played with it. Do you know what I mean?
And how's it being powered?
Well, it will be through my inverter. So James has got the exact same kind of thing as me without the solar panels. He just runs a generator. But it's going to be through my inverter.
I don't know what an inverter is.
So because I've got solar panels which charge the batteries for electric start, boiler and stuff, it's literally going to be used the 1500 watt inverter to charge it pretty much.
So it's being powered by like a big battery.
Yeah, I've got two batteries in my van are being charged all the time by the two solar panels.
Right, okay.
And then I can plug like the boiler in. I can charge my phone, have lights on, all from the inverter.
Oh, bloody hell. Would you recommend doing that? Is it like... Because you could charge like your headphones, your phone. You could do all sorts with your engine turned off on your van just by using that.
Yeah, it literally is a flick of a switch. I go into my van, flick the switch, plug my phone in, put my headphones on charge, turn the boiler on. And yeah, basically, my phone's charging, everything's good to go.
Is it like 3-pin stuff like you can use in your house?
Yeah, so I'm going to upgrade my inverter to a 4000 watt so I can run my vacuum from it.
Ooh. From a battery?
Game changer.
Don't say that.
Yeah, game changer.
Don't you dare say that phrase.
That is a game changer.
How long's a battery going to last? You know what I mean? With a vacuum, with a 700 watt vacuum, 1700 watt vacuum?
I'm not too sure. It's going to be a bit of testing. So Darren, I was when I went to PWS to get all this done, I was adamant I wanted solar panels, not a generator. Don't want to plug into customers' electric. So there's a guy there called Chris, and I was talking to Chris about what I can do with it. And he was like, Daniel, who does ProGrip, he's got all lights around his van and stuff. He runs that all the time. And he was saying if you upgrade to a 4,000 watt inverter, you can run your vacuum from it. Not sure how long it's going to last though.
But it doesn't matter because the next day it'll probably be charged back up anyway because of the solar panels.
So I went through a bit of a thing as well, switching out. So I've still got my Honda and that whole old frame, but the Vanguard generates 20 amps, whereas the Honda generates like 6. Sorry, I'm probably boring everyone with this.
No, you're not. This is very interesting. So the Vanguard is also recharging the battery as well while it's running.
Yeah. So you can't do what I've done in my van with a Honda engine.
Right.
It has to be a Vanguard. And I don't know if it has to be the V400. It might be able to be the V-twin as well. But yeah, I've completely lost my train of thought.
No, you're fine. That's very cool. Was that add in the Liam? You'll need more batteries to do that. Darren says, and he's an electrician, so he should know. I wonder if you can wire. I wonder if you can wire up batteries in line, and I wonder if they'd need to be like leisure batteries, like you'd have with like a camper or a caravan or something.
I don't know if they're leisure batteries or car batteries. They're pretty big. Like they take up the whole length of my 250 litre tank, but it's the tall one.
Really?
Yeah.
The length?
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures. Hang on, let me airdrop me a.
God, that is a big battery. Bloody hell. Is the having solar panels and stuff installed, is that like a considerable price bump on top of the machine that you've already paid for? You don't have to be specific if you don't want to, just like...
I don't actually know the pricing. You can't look at PWS online.
No.
I won't say the price too out loud because Darren might have done me a favour. I have no idea. But it wasn't a huge break the banker.
If you've paid for the machine and the van mount and the hose reels and everything already, is it like an extra maybe 10%, 20% for all the solar panel stuff, or is it more than that?
20%, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, leisure batteries, ideally Life PO4 batteries. Can be wired together. That's how EV car works in serial. Maybe parallel. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, like parallel, multiple batteries in a row. That's cool.
Right, I'm just going to turn that around quickly so I can airdrop myself some pictures. You probably won't be able to see me for a second.
Yeah. Anti-backflow valves, all extra costs. Second buffer tank is cheaper. Yeah, but second buffer tank also means that you need to arrive on site with a full tank, else it's sort of pointless. Because if the customer's got low water pressure and you're turning up with an empty tank, you're going to be waiting ages regardless. And if you turn up with a full tank, it means you might be driving around over the weight limit.
If you ever look at my recent YouTube video, it's all in there. I haven't got any music playing, so don't worry about that. Or at the start, anyway. But you can see exactly what I mean by the inverter switch and stuff like that.
Was it the one where you started cleaning that roof?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really post anymore, really. I'll tell you about that in a minute, actually.
I did see this. Ta-da!
New system.
Right, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You had a big old rant at the beginning, didn't you?
Machine, new hose, new tank.
I can't remember. This
boiler,
was weeks ago.
Diesel.
Oh, yeah.
New.
Not at the beginning, no. It was just the ending.
So, we are today.
Yeah, so behind that tank are the 2 batteries.
Oh, like behind the bulkhead?
Yeah. So in between the bulkhead and the tank.
Oh, bloody hell. Also, I see. Down the side. Ah. So it's not, it doesn't take up a lot of room then, does it?
No, it's hidden.
That's
but
very
a
cool.
bit further, when I go to turn on the boiler, you literally see how easy it is just to get heat.
I did watch this video already. Have you, be honest, be honest, have you noticed in the jobs that you do regularly, the driveways, the roofs, the patios, so far, have you noticed any difference while using steam? Or are you just burning fuel?
No, so paint, any paint you can get out.
Oh, like
Looks
drips
so
of
much
paint,
better.
like when people have been painting their fences and it's dripped onto the patio that you can't remove with just cold water.
Yeah, and you also can get, do you know, like when you've done 2, 3, 4 chemical treatments neat and stuff, and you can't get those last black spots out, steam will get them out, or most of them out.
Oh, really?
So I won't just run steam pointlessly. I'll like now I do 3 different methods of roof cleaning. So you got the scrape, the cold pressure wash, and the steam.
Oh, is that 3 different prices?
Yeah, because I want to now equate to people's budget as
Good
well
idea.
as their result. But yeah, I won't use steam just for the sake of it because it runs through it at like 7 hours, 25 liters, 20 liters, whatever the tank
Of diesel?
capacity is. Yeah, like you absolutely bomb through it.
I don't know. I think that's probably about the same as a cold water pressure washer, surely.
Yeah, but obviously I'm draining petrol as well as diesel.
Yeah, you're doing both. Yeah.
Yeah. So I try and keep my costs down as much as possible.
Have you used it on a flat surface cleaner on a patio yet?
Yes, but I have melted my flat surface cleaner.
Yeah.
You need the stainless steel one.
Because I'm thinking that's probably where you're going to see a good benefit. Low pressure, like on a maybe like an Indian sandstone patio where there's loads of black spots and the pointing's pretty battered. I feel like low pressure steam, like low pressure high temperature, could really do a good job.
Another great thing, do you know those like stains that look like rust but they're not? They're like organic water staining that you can't get out. Steam gets them out.
Really?
Yeah. So on porcelain, I literally just melted through it. Whereas I was trying it because I was cleaning it cold and I was like, these ain't coming off. So I thought, I'll give it a go of heat. And yeah, just got it out.
So how do you know when to use the steam and when not to? Because that'd be my thing. It'd be like, do I turn the boiler on or should I just try and wash this cold? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I say, if I haven't quoted for it, I won't turn it on unless I have a feeling I might be able to get out with it.
Right, okay.
So if it's something that's just not budging with like cold water or chemicals, I'm like, give steam a go. What's the worst that could happen? And I literally, the only thing it's failed on is rust, obviously, because why would it touch that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
James says, how did the surface cleaner melt?
So because mine's the plastic BE one, it's literally like if you rub your fingers along the inside, it's like shaving the plastic.
You mean the shroud? It's like a polycarbonate shroud. Not the actual internal fittings or anything, or the bar or the bearings or anything. It's literally just the shield that goes around the outside.
Yeah, and it's all black on the inside ring. It's not yellow anymore.
Right, okay.
But yeah.
Have you had any issues with any of your other like turbo nozzles or any of your other nozzles or hoses or triggers? I'd worry about putting steam through my trigger for some reason, but I'm sure they're designed for it.
The only thing is your metal, steel, whatever fittings you've got, the lance literally is piping hot.
That might be quite nice in the winter.
Yeah, but you nip your arm on it.
Oh yeah,
it feels like you just touched your exhaust. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I'm glad I got it all because I was wanting it for ages, and I didn't just want to cheap about and just do it like make it work. If you know what I mean. I just wanted to get it done and dusted, and that's it.
Yeah, it's cool that you can offer that as like a upsell. Like, do you want steam cleaning because it's going to be better, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Send me a link to your battery. I want to see what it looks like.
Oh, what's it called? It's like a ball. It's a red logo with a ball. I don't actually know the name of the battery.
I just want to see the shape.
Maybe Darren's got on his website.
Oh, are you busy?
I am. It's a banner ball. If you go on Darren's website, oh, that's smaller than the one I've got. I am busy, but I'm not as busy as I normally would be. I'm about 2.5 weeks ahead.
That's good.
And I've just quoted a blooming huge, like the biggest job I would have ever got if I get it.
How big are we talking?
So
What kind of money are we talking?
well, I went a bit cheaper than most people because I think it's a wicked job.
Sorry.
Right, I've got my monitor switched up.
Sorry. Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Lindsay thought I was ignoring her in the chat earlier, so just making sure she'd see my message. You've gone in a bit cheaper.
There's 658 square meters of tarmac to be cleaned, bioed, and sealed.
Sealed?
Like tarmac, like restoration. And then let me get Jobber up. By the way, Jobber, game changer. Sorry,
Stop saying that.
Not game changer. Sorry. Indian sandstone to be grinded out, cleaned, sealed, repointed. 129 square meters.
Christ.
And then got roof, gutters, and windows. There is 192 meters of guttering. There's 11 sides of windows, and they're all like patio door, like French doors. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole way around the house. They've got an inside swimming pool, the lot.
It's a house.
Yeah, it's like a fat off mansion. He's got tennis courts as well. But
Oh, what?
a fat off mansion. But yeah,
What have you gone in at?
it would be. Well, I would like you to tell me what you'd go in at for 658 square meters, roughly. Don't be accurate, because obviously it changes. And then I'll tell you what I went in at, just because I think you'll be like, that's too cheap.
Probably about $7,000.
Yeah, so I toned it down a bit and went 5,791. It's all really good condition.
How much was it? 600 and what? How many square meters?
668.
So you've gone in at £8.60 per square meter. It's not bad. It's fine.
You wanted it all broken down though.
You'll still make loads of money on that.
Mm.
It's just a hell of a lot of effort. Are you just in it by yourself, or you got someone to help you?
So because I've still got my other machine, I'm thinking about, if I get the job, I'm just going to buy a trolley, take my old machine off that frame, and buy a stainless steel flat surface cleaner, and then bring another labourer back in. Because obviously I used to have a staff member, and then that went all tits up.
Whereabouts are you in the country?
In the country?
Yeah.
I am I live in Harwich, but I cover kind of the whole way up to Chelmsford and Norwich.
Where's that? You say
I can't really describe it yet.
You're saying it up, so I'm just sort of going up on the map.
So go to London.
Oh, you're near London.
Right to the water. Just go in a dead straight line to the water, and you'll find Harwich or Clacton, Southend, something like that.
Southend on Sea. Okay.
Yeah, up and right a little bit.
Haybridge.
That's down from there.
So you've got a few people in your area that you could call in to give you a hand.
Yeah, I have thought about it.
I think you should do that.
I just kind of want to make use of that spare machine because it's just kind of sat there.
Yeah, it'd be cool to collab with someone else in the Discord, though.
Yeah, yeah. Is WF Linny still in the chat?
I think Linny's is about. But yeah, that'd be a monster job. I'm guessing it's a massive roof as well.
No, it's only tiny. Well, I say tiny. It's one side because it's like man-made slate just covered in moss.
Oh, okay.
It's quite funny that I went to the house and the guy started telling me that I can't put biocide on it because it's going to turn white before I even mentioned it.
How's he got that?
I don't know. 63 square meters.
Has he been watching my shorts?
Probably. The thing is, yeah, I reckon so because you're like one of the only ones that do the tarmac restoration.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe he's seen that and he thought, who does that near me?
Yeah, so I've got 2 videos of me doing it, so I sent him both, and he was like, "Yeah, looks good."
Did you see the latest one that I posted tonight?
I saw the one yesterday. Was it on?
Oh yeah, it was the members first one. Pouring it on. Did you dip?
Oh, yeah.
Did you dunk it or did you pour it?
I did the fatal mistake of buying a bucket and pouring it into the bucket and destroying a bucket.
Yeah. We've started pouring it straight onto the tarmac and just back rolling it with a roller, and it's so much better. It's quicker, much more even. You know, on that first coat where it's still like faded and it's not got in all the nooks and crannies, and you can still see. You step back and it's like you look at it from different directions and it just looks dry in places.
Yeah.
You don't get that if you pour it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you could, in theory, do one coat.
I think you probably could on some driveways. On the ones that we did in the video, it looked okay with one coat, but I think to be on the safe side, I'd still probably do 2. And it doesn't feel like you're using any more materials either. It doesn't feel like you're using any more sealer than you normally would. It just feels like you're getting better coverage.
Fair.
How do you see? How do you see Smelt's members map in the Discord? If you go into the Discord, and then literally there's a channel here called Members Map, and then you just click on it and you can add yourself. If you're in the Discord and you haven't already added yourself to this Members Map, I suggest you do it because a lot of you guys are collaborating and helping each other out with work. And if you get a lead that's not in your area, you can just pass it on to someone else. What I would say is make sure you have some sort of contact information here, because DB Jets, I don't know if DB Jets is in the Discord, so now I've got to go in the Discord, type in DB Jets and try and find this person. Or the best thing you can do, oh no, I've just moved him. Okay, best thing you can do is like leave a phone number there, or attach your Google account. You can actually attach your Google business account like this one, look, and it'll attach your reviews and your website and all that sort of stuff. I'd suggest doing that. Sorry, Liam. Hi.
Hello, mate. I'm just looking at the map.
Yeah. So have you gone a bit quiet compared to what you normally like?
I don't really know. Like leads have quietened down, yeah, but like my Google ads, I've been spending about £43 a day, and I'm getting probably 1 lead a day. Conversion rate maybe 40%. But go back about 3 weeks ago, it was probably 3 or 4 leads a day.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
At least 2, but I think it's this time of year, isn't it? It's just been half term. It hasn't rained for ages. There seems to be quite a lot of pop-ups all of a sudden, as in like over the last month or so. And yeah, I don't really know the exact reason, obviously, but
what happened with all your leaflets that you bought? Have they all gone out?
So they're out. Well, they've gone, but they're not out yet.
Right.
So they started to go out. So it takes Royal Mail 2 weeks, but when I last did it, it was the Sunday of the last day when I started getting about 15 phone calls. So the 2 weeks is up next Monday.
I'd be scared that I've like made a bad leaflet and printed thousands of them and it's a crap leaflet, or there's a mistake on there or something. I'd just be so scared that they're all going out and they just don't look as good. Because I've had like 3 different leaflets over the last couple of years, and I'm still not sure any of them are good because they're not very effective. I'm wondering if I'm missing a trick, and so I wouldn't want to print thousands of them just in case it's a bad leaflet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be a really good thing for you to do, I suppose, if you say you did like 2 sides and it's very specific, and you put a QR code link into a short video or something that you've done. So say you did one side of a tarmac restoration, you put a QR code, like the biggest thing on the leaflet in the middle, say scan me to watch how we do it, and then turn it over on the other side and had something like do you know like the block paving recolouring you do?
Yeah.
That side and say scan me to watch how you do it. But obviously then you've got, it's the same as like why someone asked me the other day, why don't you leaflet render? How many houses in the country have render? You're instantly, your audience goes down. So
I also think a lot of people wouldn't scan something on a random leaflet just in case it steals their card information or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know.
To be fair.
Fred says, Smouty, watch your mouth. Don't be a fake nice guy. What does that mean? What do you mean, Fred? Love watching the Yanks do it. They are wild. Oh, the tarmac sealing. Yeah, they do it with a squeegee, with their little spiky shoes. £43 a day for one lead. Washy seems to get a fair few more. Does area you're from matter?
No, it's just the time of year it is. Like I say, normally if I'm spending 43, my average conversion per customer into the business usually is about £33. So I will spend £33 to get myself a job, usually. Right. But obviously now it's just quieting down for absolutely everyone.
Yeah,
I've had a bit of mentoring recently as well about advertising and marketing and things like this. There's a bit too many secrets to give out, but it's really interesting. If you're kind of, trying to work out what the big companies do, I definitely recommend having a mentoring session.
With who?
Just 1 or 2. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Okay, yeah.
They're big in the industry and they do a lot of stuff, and you would have definitely seen them.
Oh, okay.
But it's just something to think about.
So there's secrets. I mean, there's
not secrets. Obviously, they charge for their information. Do you know? What
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't really want to ruin their.
Well, I suppose once you dip your toes into like paid advertising, there's got to be so much to learn, so many little nuances and slight changes you can make to massively improve your reach and stuff.
Well, the most trouble is that it usually takes. So, say if you changed your budget, let's say you were spending £20 a day for God knows how long, and then last week you died off a little bit. So you went, let's up the budget. It would normally take about 2 weeks for it to start paying off. So what happens is someone will go on Google Ads and spend £20 a day, and then it will get like 10 days later and be like, I'm not getting anything from this. I'm going to stop it because I'm spending money and getting nothing. It takes a long time for Google to learn your ad.
Right. Okay.
If I'm honest, I've stopped doing it myself now. I've passed it out because it's a lot to kind of work out your ROAS that week and stuff.
You're paying someone else to run the ads for you?
Yeah. So I used to do it up until about 2 months ago. But there's, like I say, my average customer over the course of May has been £35, 35p. Average cost per click, £2.21. Today alone, I've spent £27.73 on pressure washing leads and £11.62 on roof cleaning leads.
And what are the quality of the leads like? Are they all high quality leads, or are you sifting through crap?
So mine works slightly differently, so they'll click the ad or whatever, but the only conversion that they have is with a phone call directly to me, or they fill out a form on my website.
And that counts as
a conversion.
Yeah. So
most of the time, I never ever really, maybe once in a blue moon, get someone that's filled out a form and doesn't reply to me once I follow up with an email or a call.
Same.
And most of the time, like I say, conversion rate being about 40%, roughly, give or take. It's pretty good.
That's the barrier, is once you've got someone to fill out the form, I think that means they're serious about it. If they're just asking you for a quick price, they're probably not serious.
No. And what was I going to say then?
Sorry.
I completely forgot my train of mind.
Hi,
I can't remember.
Hi, Jake. I've started car detailing and pressure washing business. I was looking at your calculator on your website, which is a great tool. Was just wondering how much you would charge starting out. RS detailing, it depends on the service. It's quite a broad question, that is. It depends on the surface. Depends on which service I'm offering, like gutter clearing, roof cleaning, tarmac, sandstone, block paving. Quite a broad question. Local guy has his service on WhatsApp. You book directly into the calendar. Yeah, I've seen WhatsApp are doing something like that. I'm not keen on a customer scheduling my calendar for me. That's the only thing. Have you ever thought of that? Where the customer gets like slots availability and they can book the work in.
So I don't do that, but my Google business page, I've got a Calendly link. So someone can book a quote and you can choose the times available. And by that, it's actually a phone call. So say, for example, they want a quote, but they live like 50 minutes away. I very rarely go and visit a quote anyway. They can book a call and like a 15-minute slot. That's the only thing I do, that kind of thing.
Okay. And how, when you say you're not visiting quotes, is that because you've got so good at doing like roof cleaning quotes just on Google Earth and stuff that you just don't need to go and visit?
I kind of eyeball it, to be honest. And I very rarely suffer being let down by it.
Yeah.
Because I always kind of look at it and be like, I'll think of a number, then I'll be like, right, let's up that slightly just in case. It's like the one I'm doing, like the one I do today and tomorrow, 293 square meters of block paving. And my mind instantly went to like just over $1,000 without even working it out.
Yeah.
I quoted it and then I measured it today when I started the job and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good going, to be fair. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't really, like I say, Google Earth is like, yeah, it's good. But most of the time you can't see. And that going back in history thing is good as well. But I always kind of ask for images if possible.
Are you finding that you're losing any work? And do you think you could be getting more conversions if you were to go and quote in person?
Yeah, but I'd argue my customer acquisition is much more expensive if I did that.
Yeah. So you're saving money by not visiting, and the cost of losing one or two leads outweighs the money that you're saving by not visiting.
I think so, because say for example it's a 25-minute drive. So you go to the quote, 25-minute drive, you realise it's just a path around the back of a shed or something. There's no drainage, there's just mud everywhere. And then you kind of having a chat with the customer for 15 minutes and you drive home. That's like an hour and a half of your time gone.
Yeah. And
there's so many better things, I think, to be spending an hour and a half of my time doing than going to visit a quote that very well I might turn around and say it's 200 quid. Just be like, oh, I've had a quote for 50 quid. And I'm just like, it just makes me want to cry.
Yeah. Would you give that advice to someone who's just started a week ago?
No, because they've got time to do it.
Put yourself in the position where you just started a week ago and you've had that same quote. Do you think it's still valuable to go and visit that, or do you think with no experience?
I think it's good experience.
Yeah.
It's also good to like I did a bit of work in hospitality, and I think that is kind of very vital in order to be able to talk to people randomly. Most of my friends cannot hold a conversation with random people.
Yeah.
I think that's you kind of learn to speak to people if you go and visit them. And obviously, you sometimes win the job ahead of someone else because they get to speak to you properly.
I totally
and meet
agree.
you.
I think that was the same with retail for me. Doing like 10 years in retail taught me how to talk to customers and how to be approachable and deal with complaints and all that sort of stuff. I think it sucked, but it was very valuable for my like growth as a person.
Yeah, it's a skill, isn't it? Talking to people, because, like I say, my friends can't talk to anyone. And that's like a big sales thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you kind of don't know what to say to a customer there and then, obviously you learn from it every time. You'll be like, right, I'm on it now. And if you consume enough information in this industry, YouTube, TikTok, whatever you do, you will probably learn quickly what each surface is and what to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, like drainage, the litres per minute out of the tap and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think for the first 6 months at least, people should be visiting every single quote. Obviously not the ones that are too far away, but
no.
Let's just say block paving, doing just water clean, as I've got some people just wanting that. Then how much per meter squared would you charge for tarmac clean and seal? Okay. I'm at around about £4.50 per square meter for block paving, clean and resand. Tarmac sealing is around about £3.50 per square meter for the clean, and then £12 per square meter all in for cleaning, sealing, materials, labour. Are you still? So you're not pricing stuff by the square meter, really? You're just sort of back checking yourself. You're sort of eyeballing most of the jobs.
Yeah, unless it's a big area. Like if I go and visit, I will always measure up. If it's a picture, like you say, if you can't see it on Google Earth, you kind of just get a guess anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of what yeah. What were you saying again? Sorry.
No, nothing.
My brain's not working tonight.
No, you're fine, mate. I'm tired as well. I'm probably going to get off soon.
How are you doing on that?
We're under the threshold for the pressure washing side of the business, the exterior cleaning. With YouTube and TikTok and Facebook earnings and stuff. That comes in through a separate pot, so that doesn't contribute towards that side of the business.
That's good.
Are you VAT registered?
No, but it's creeping up very fast and it's quite frustrating, actually. I say that. I listen to quite a lot of podcasts like James Sinclair and whatever else, and they all seem to say that VAT should be a thing instantly anyway. You shouldn't have to hit a threshold. Because, for example, the tarmac sealer, all the chemicals we buy, everything like that, we're being, we've got VAT to pay on that. And VAT should be for the end consumer. But anyway, I'm a bit worried about pricing structure. So I've done a little test recently of upping my prices by 50p each. So that if the worst comes to worst, I have to cover 10% of the VAT when that comes in. And it's not been a terrible result, to be honest. So my block paving is £5 a square metre, like you say, whatever. £4.50 before. Tarmac's gone up to £4. Indian sandstone's gone up to £3.50 because it was £3 before. And yeah, the conversion rate hasn't had a huge drop off.
That's good to know. And I think people are expecting price increases like year after year. I was speaking to Sophie's brother's partner who runs an interior cleaning business, and she hasn't upped her prices in 2 years. And when I thought about it, I think I'm pretty similar. I haven't really upped my prices since I started. So it's probably about time I started adding like 50p on here and there.
I think it's good to test the waters as well. Because, like you say, the kind of going rate for block paving and stuff like that is £4, £4.50, isn't it? And say, for example, like I say, I've just put in, I've actually converted a bit of work recently because of the things like the solar panels and stuff like that, because I show people the equipment when I go and visit. So I think kind of, that partly justifies a price increase, because if I haven't got to get out my pressure washing trolley, my bin, my hoses, and set up and put it in the middle of their garden, do you know what I mean? It's just a bit more professional.
Yeah. 100%.
And yeah, I think if you're the same price as someone with a Karcher, for example, probably charging the same amount because they see it online, the customer's going to be like, well, I'm going with a professional anyway. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, but when people ask how much do you charge, it's a bit of it's a weird question, because it also depends on the level of service that you're offering the customer. And someone that's just starting out, no matter what they're doing, they're not going to get the same results as me that's been doing it for 4 years. And so I can justify charging more because I'm offering the customer a better, higher level of service. It's not to say that I offer the highest level of service possible, but the stuff I know that the average person doesn't know when they're first starting out. Grime to Prime says, it's crazy hearing you guys say this. A face-to-face for a quote is a must for me. Guess that's the difference between a first season business and a well-grounded business in this industry. Not necessarily. I'm still doing face-to-face quotes where I can, particularly for most rear patios or roof cleans. I'm going out in person to quote, because you just can't see them very well on Google Earth, and you can't see access very well. A driveway is very easy to see on Google Street View, and it's fairly easy to measure up on Google Earth. But gutter clearing, I'm not going out for a fairly low ticket gutter clearing job. There's no point in me going out to quote that. Can you see the chat, Liam?
Okay, I'm just reading through it. I've missed loads.
Any news on the app?
I'm still reading about the battery stuff.
Are you going to bring it out on Apple? The app is in full swing. Me as the designer, I'm incredibly busy with the day-to-day running of the business and the YouTube and family and all that sort of stuff. So it is very much a side project for me, but I'm still working on it. And then on top of that, the developer, the guy that's doing all the coding and bringing the app to life, he also has a full-time job and he's extremely busy as well. So it's a side project for him as well. But it's very exciting. I've designed the logo. I've got the branding for it. Me and Matt had a little brainstorming session on Discord the other night, and it's sick. I'm very pleased with the way it's going. And we're close to a release date. Just a few more things that I want in there before we can do that. And we will be doing Apple iOS launch after the Android one, providing we can jump through all of Apple's App Store hoops to get it launched on there as well. Are you interested in using my quoting app at any point, Liam? You're on.
Oh, I have used your Smelt Club one before in the past.
Yeah.
I will give it a go when it's on Apple.
30-day free trial.
Sorry?
30-day free trial.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, is it? So I actually, because I haven't really had a go on it, is it like a CRM or is it like a measuring quoting tool thing?
It's very simple. So it's not competing with CRMs and stuff. It is a calculator. So it's like a glorified calculator essentially, with your entire price list. Very quick and easy to essentially drag and drop services. Type in the scale of the job, so it's 250 square meters, and it works out the price for you. Add another service on. It's very, very quick and simple to do that. And then also it's got a customer database bolted onto it as well, so you're keeping track of all your customers, their addresses, their phone numbers, email addresses, how much you've quoted for each customer, You can print the quote PDF and the invoice PDF and stuff and send that directly to them.
Oh, nice. I think, yeah, I'll give it a go, definitely.
It's just, I'm designing it for me because I don't keep track of my customers' information. So I'm not storing any customer information anywhere. I've just got it in my calendar for that. So the job is booked in for Wednesday. I've got their name, their address, their phone number, and the job details. And once that job has passed, it's just sort of in the past. I might have some information in an email, and I've got it in a calendar entry, but I've not got a list of my customers anywhere. So I'm building this for me to stay on top of things, basically.
I've tried a few CRMs now. So I tried Pipedrive. I'm now using Jobber because I got 3 months for free.
Mm-hmm.
It's wicked, but it's not worth the money when I come to pay for it, I don't think.
How much is it per month?
£79.
£79 a month?
Yeah. It is really cool, though. Like, really cool.
What's cool about it? What do you love about it?
So all my marketing campaigns are through it. I also have an AI receptionist, which I haven't actually set up yet. So if someone calls my number and I don't answer, my AI receptionist will call. I don't know if I can make it play. Can I make it play?
What the hell? What do you mean
Can you hear that?
No.
Oh, sorry, what did you say?
What do you mean you could do all your marketing through it?
So all my marketing campaigns are connected to Jobber.
Through like social media and stuff?
Through Google Ads, things like that. I mean, yeah, if I boost a post or, for example, or do Meta Ads, it's on there as well, but I don't really do those.
All right.
I can see, say if I send off a quote, it will send off a reminder 2 days, 4 days, and 7 days after that without me pressing a button. Same with invoices. It will also track, like you get notifications on your phone. And when I wake up in the morning, my 6 a.m. thing will tell me what I'm doing today at what times. I can track chemical usage, which I don't really do because it's a bit boring and it's a bit long-winded. So when I had Pete with me, he could go on and do his own timesheet and I could approve it. And yeah, it's just standard. Other than that, you get all your customers' details and whatever else. And you can add optional bits onto the quote. So instead of it changing the actual price, you can just optional.
And they can click what they want and add it on themselves.
Yeah, like I say, it's good, but it's definitely not worth £79 a month. I don't think.
Is it connected to your bank?
So you can do that. I haven't because I don't like put my bank details into these things. So when they pay, I get a notification saying you've had money in your bank or whatever. And I just literally go onto here. I can see this lady invoice number 47, due date today. I know it's been paid, so I just click it and then press paid.
Okay, so you're still manually inputting stuff to let it know that you've acknowledged it's been paid. How much time is it taking you to use this software? Do you know what I mean? Are you spending time in the morning to use it and or time after your jobs are done?
So I got in today and I had 3 quotes to send off and I sent them all off within half an hour. It's a simple case of making the clients all their details, all their information, their address, and then all of my services are already pre-saved with a description of what happens. So, can I share screen with you? I don't know if I can.
Just be careful. You're not going to share customers' information and stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So you can predefine. Okay, roof cleaning. This is my price, and here's the terms and conditions, or this is what's involved in roof cleaning.
Yeah, so it literally has everything that they can expect already written because I've spent time to.
You've set it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Do it once and it just. Right.
How long would you say it took you to set the app up?
A day, maybe.
Okay. Not like a full day of. I can hear myself.
I think I did it on a Sunday and literally I did it about 10 o'clock and I had it done by 5ish. It didn't take that long. I was just tinkering about.
Yeah.
How do I share this screen? Not that one.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna just turn you off for a second until you've done it, because I don't want you to leak anything. Is anyone else having customer complaints for weeds growing back faster than you've pressure washed the block paving? Fast after you've pressure washed the block paving. I mean, there's only so much you can do. If you've been asked to come and clean a drive, and you've done a bloody good job, you know, you've chemically treated it, you've resanded it. At that point, it's sort of up to them to maintain it, and it's up to you as well to set the customer's expectations. I always say to people, especially when it's a real bad drive, like the one I just did, it was super weedy. I've said to them, look, these weeds are probably going to come back in no time, because we've essentially just knocked the heads off them, and so we've resanded it. The drive has been sanitized, and it's a really good base now for you to maintain. So I'd invest in some strong weed killer and keep on top of it now. If you start to see weeds poking back up, spray them, don't pick them. I had to remind him, I told him to get some weed killer. Yeah, it's just about educating the customer and getting them to understand the level of service you're offering. You're not offering to maintain that driveway going forward unless that's what you're offering. You know what I mean? Are you ready, Liam?
Can you see me now?
Oh, watch stream. There we go, I got it. I can see it.
Right, so sorry, bear with me. All my monitors are the wrong way around, because my laptop's normally on the right, but it's in the middle.
Okay.
So, say for example, whatever.
Yeah.
This bit, I'll literally go put in all your details, whatever, put a phone number, I don't know, just spam the numbers. If it lets me do that, hopefully. No, it won't let me do that. Okay.
And then they're set up as a customer then.
Forever, yeah.
So that's what my app does now at the minute. I can set up a customer with all their information. And then when I go to do a quote in the future, it pulls from that customer information and ties it to their account.
Yeah. So this is very similar to what this does. You can see here I'm scrolling through all of the services I've got.
Oh, unit price, quantity,
yeah, so
total.
Some of them change because I haven't actually got a fixed price. It changes depending on that kind of what it is. So this is also a big one I've done. So travel time in miles. Now, if it's 20 miles out, I will charge 45p a mile.
Reasonable.
And so let's say that they wanted a roof cleaning. So we'll do the scrape, which has already got all the text there. Add an optional line item. Add a line item, sorry. Roof cleaning. So this is the cold. But then it's got all of the information there.
Oh, I like the search function. Well, I don't have that. I've got a drop-down menu that you have to look through to find the service that you want. I like the idea of being able to search for the service.
Yeah. It's easy, and like I say, if I do Google Earth, I can just click add image.
And
then I can show them how I've measured it and what's been measured, because otherwise I've just pulled a number out of thin air.
Yeah.
And then down here is normally where I put in, because I've got templates of quotes per job. So this is all filled in usually, but you'd put in saying oh, I need access to your tap, or I need access to electricity. Be careful of pets and people around chemicals and stuff. And yeah, literally simply there, and this button normally says email or text message. So I'll press email, and it will come to you. And then you can press approve on this document. So you'll see this, and it'll be like a smart doc. And it has 3 options saying, would you like to approve this quote, request changes, or decline this quote? If they approve it, I can say, okay, they've approved the quote. And then I can send, chat to them about, when do you want to do it for? And then say, let's say the 2nd of June. Okay. And so now I can set the job up and tell them the time, and they get email confirmation saying the job's been complete.
Cool. And you're doing this for every single job, or is it just...
Yeah, every single job. It's at a click of a button.
This is the difficulty for me, is finding something that I want to go all in with. And so that's why I'm sort of trying to design it myself so that it's perfect for me. Because I don't want to go all in and then realise there's a really important feature I'm missing. Or it's locked behind a crazy paywall or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to show you, because obviously this is what Jobber is like. This is the middle package of Jobber.
Yeah.
And for £79 a month, are you really? Am I making my time or money back from this? Maybe with the approve request changes.
It's professional.
Decline thing. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, if you like before, I was just doing it to Google Docs, but I had a template for each one of those as well. I had all pictures of me doing it, the equipment, video links, all this and that. And I don't really see a huge there's no what do you call it? There's no benefit really in like conversion. I don't see.
Okay. Are you finding that your customers are more organised? I do often get quite. People say to me, "I've never had a window cleaner or anyone like that have the level of professionalism in your quotes." Yeah. What I mean is, are your customers? Have you found that your information and your customers are more organised for you to keep track of that stuff, or were you fine before as well? You know what I mean? Is it helping you be more organised?
It's definitely helping me be more organised. 100%. Because now, if I have a job, say someone says to me, I don't know, something happened, and I have no idea what the phone number is, no idea who the person is. I'll just type in their phone number or the email address they've messaged me on, and it just tells me exactly who the client is, where they are, what work I did.
And if you decide that you don't want to, when your free trial's finished and you decide that you don't want to carry on, what happens to all these customers and all this information?
Disappears.
Is there any way you can pull it out?
Yeah, you can basically convert all your clients into a Google Sheet or Excel sheet.
Yeah. Okay.
But then again, obviously, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Of course, it's not the same. Yeah, because they want you to pay for it. Yeah. I thought your last video was really good. Thanks, Tracy. Night crystal clean. Tell customers to spray weed killer one week before you come. Do you do weed killing?
I do charge for it. I've got the PA1, PA6.
You have?
But yeah, I don't ever say, "Oh, let's spray weed killer a week before." I just do it. I just clean it.
I'm thinking that could be like a really, really good maintenance thing. If I were to say, like, we'll come a week before, spray it with weed killer, clean it, and then we're going to maintain it now going forward for you for a subscription. We'll come every month and we'll spray it with weed killer, and that could be like Jakey's job, that he just maybe he goes out and does like a day a week of just weed killing or something.
See, this was the stuff that I used to use on the farm.
Yeah,
I don't think it's good for dogs.
I don't think it's good for anything. But there's been people have found, is it glyphosate? People have found this in their drinks, in their bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. When I did my PA1, PA6, and PA2 actually, someone said that vinegar wouldn't be passed as a food now if it had to go through the whole system.
Really?
No, there's too many bad things in it.
Because vinegar's acetic acid, isn't it? Not glyphosate.
Yeah. No, but it's interesting to think. Did you see the statistics the other day of the percentage of people that have processed foods in their household?
No.
60% of most food in the household is processed.
Really? I mean, what is processed? What's the definition of processed?
Like, just crap in it. Like sausages aren't crap. Sausages are elite, but they're just processed.
They're elite.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but stuff has to be processed to sometimes be consumable. Surely, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, like my girlfriend's parents at the moment are really funny about things, so they'll make their own bread, and they won't have any crisps, chocolate, biscuits in the house. It's actually really annoying when I go there.
I am finding that I'm less inclined to go to, even though I've got my Maltesers, I do look in the fridge and think, I don't really want Coke, I don't want lemonade, I don't want squash, because it's just all just shit and sugar and just bollocks. I don't want crisps. We've been getting wraps. We've been having like nice, healthy chicken salad wraps for lunch and stuff, and that's pretty good.
Mm. Yeah, what do you actually have for lunch? I know you go out for lunch, but what would you actually take for lunch?
We don't take.
You don't at all?
Never.
Never.
We always
Fair.
get stuff out on the road. So we RS Detailing says check your DM on Discord, Liam. About 3 or 4 times a week we'll have a wrap, and Jakey gets the same thing every time. He gets a chicken tikka wrap with mayonnaise. I get a chicken and bacon wrap, salad, beetroot. And then the other couple of days, it's rare that we have a pub lunch really because it's so busy at the minute. Might do a meal deal, although I tend to avoid meal deals because I think they're just a bit crap. We like a KFC, we like a Subway, we like a Greggs, but they're all just crap. It's all just rubbish food. So we like our wraps. We have wraps quite often, and they're cheap. They're about £4 for a wrap, big wrap. What do you do?
I take sandwiches, but they're often sweaty sandwiches.
Sweaty van-mounted sandwich.
Yeah, like proper thick air, sweaty, grim sandwiches.
Sat in the van all day, underneath the windscreen, being baked by the sun.
Yeah.
Bread's
Just
going
grim, innit?
stiff. I mean, we do start the day generally with a nana. I'll bring 2 bananas to work, and Jakey just comes to work with a pocket full of whatever he got out of the cupboard this morning. So sometimes it'll be a penguin, and he'll have a penguin for breakfast. Sometimes it'll be like a yogurt bar or a cereal bar or something. And like anything he pulls out of his pocket, I'm like, nah, no thanks. I'll stick to my nana. You don't know where it's been.
Sometimes I do go down Lidl because Lidl bakery's unreal.
Yeah. That smell when you walk through the door.
Yeah, the things I hate packing up from a job to go and get food. Like I needed a piss like all day today. I just didn't bother packing up to go.
That'll bite you in the ass one day.
I think that.
That's why you need to get yourself. You need to invest in a high quality piss bucket.
Is it a gorilla tub or is it actually like a portly thing?
No, it's actually
Porta
just a £1 B&Q orange bucket. And
The thing is, I do right, but because I'm on my own, do you know, like when the doors close,
you get
worried
locked
I'll
in the
get
back
stuck
of the
in there.
van.
yeah. But
You,
I have done it before a few times, but
you slide
I
them
just get banged
closed.
out by it.
You slide them closed just so the hose is still going through the van. So you've got a crack of sunlight coming through. And you just have a nice, cosy pee in the back of the van.
But it's alright. You can stand up in your van, though, can't you?
Yeah.
Mate, I'm not fucking hinged over to yeah. Goes everywhere.
I think you boys are tired and need to hit the sack now. Talking about dry, stale sarnies. Nice. Matt's got a nice USB cooler box. Cold snacks and drinks all day. No way. That's a good idea. In the winter, he's got an air fryer or a microwave.
Wait, what?
Oh my God. Try a tuna and bacon wrap. What are you doing? Tuna and bacon?
Yeah, wouldn't want that sweaty in the van all day either.
No. No.
I actually, do you know like when you get in your van where your machine's running and it's so hot in the van?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it just literally makes me want to cry.
Oh, you mean in the cab?
Yeah. Like the whole van is just hot.
Yeah.
And your petrol can's like exploding. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't do that. Take the petrol out of the van. Take the container out the van.
Just put it in direct sunlight.
You're asking for trouble, you are. Jesus.
Yeah. No, do you know what? All jokes aside, the only thing that really annoys me about the Vanguard engine, I love it all, but the only thing that really annoys me is that it's got a filter in the fuel. So I go and fill up from the petrol station or whatever, And on the Honda, you just squeeze the trigger until it's full and it's done. I reckon it takes me about 3 minutes to fill up my tank, the Vanguard.
You can put your finger in and pull it out.
Yeah, but then you're just... What's the point of having a filter?
Well, the filter's there if you're filling up from little fuel cans and they've got dust and crap all over them. But from a petrol station, you can just put it straight in.
Fair. Honestly, I've wasted so much time by doing that then. I'll give that a go tomorrow. It just goes everywhere. It's just annoying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And then you've... The worst one is when you're filling up with a little jerry can and it's spilling all over the petrol tank and you're wiping up what you can, but you think, do I start this machine now or do I give it like 10 minutes?
Yeah, your whole van just goes up on fire.
Yeah. Do you see Craig's burnt his hose? Did you say you've done that a couple of times? Burnt your low pressure hose?
I've done it 3 times.
How?
Did it again earlier.
Is it over the top of the exhaust?
Craig, I did it. Well, right. Let me actually airdrop the picture of what I've got. So my low pressure hose reel now goes directly. So it's on my roof of my van, attached to the roof. Right?
Oh, is it? I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah, but if it's going over your exhaust, honestly, like, I wouldn't recommend. So, where's the picture? There's a picture of me actually burning it.
You thought, this is good content.
But it literally goes like directly over the exhaust, so I have to now wrap it around my door. But you know when your tank's full, and it does that like jolty thing?
Yeah.
My hose is now spinning backwards on the reel. Yeah. So I have to basically keep an eye on my hose at all times. Because otherwise I will literally...
That's the original design from PWS.
Yeah. But like I think if they're mounted like... Oh my God, bloody thing. If they're mounted on like a BM frame, they're all right. But you'll see what I mean by this when I've sent it to you on Discord.
Revive and refresh. Thank you for watching. The rough cost of starting up. If you're looking at a Honda GX390, you're looking at about sub $3,000. Get yourself a broom, some bags, hose reel. Yeah, you can do it for less than $3,000. You could also get a cheaper machine and do it for 500 quid. You know what I mean? It depends how bougie you want to get with it. Oh. Yeah, that is... I see what you're saying. So it's not... The hose reel isn't mounted on the van mount and it's been designed like that. It just happens to be where you bolted it to the roof.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a makeshift hose. Because I was pranging out to Darren, I was like, I'm missing, because I was using a hose lock one for a bit.
You as what?
Mate, I need to get this. I was using my hose lock.
No, you were pranging out.
Pranging out, yeah.
What does that mean?
like lagging. I was like
you're
freaking out.
Repping the Casio as well, nice.
Yeah, it's the £19 one, that one.
Yeah, I love it.
What was I saying?
Pranging.
Yeah, I was like, Darren, I need the low pressure hose reel. I need it to like now. So I did 2 trips in the space of 2 weeks. To get that fitted.
How have you bolted it
you can
to
see
the roof?
That's Unistrut.
And that's bolted to the roof, and then the hose reel's bolted to the Unistrut.
Yeah, and obviously riv nuts and stuff in the roof. But you can see my battery's a bit better there.
Yeah.
In that picture. What else was I going to say?
There's nowhere else you can put that hose reel, is there really?
You can have it, so I could have it at the back door, but I'm going to put a window cleaning hose up there and do exactly the same.
Can you put it... You know what you could do? You could get a hose runner. Actually, PWS do them.
Is that like the wheels thing?
It's... I can't remember what they're called. Guide, like a hose guide. Yeah, roller, hose roller. So you could bolt one of these. They do a couple of different ones. You could bolt one of these hose rollers, like near,
in front of the roof of the van, kind of thing, in front of where the hose reel is.
Yeah, you could do it up top, or you could do it down between your frame on this side, maybe, so that it's forced. The hose is forced to come away from the exhaust before it comes out of the van.
Yeah, it's probably the best idea. I literally, my old one used to have like a what do you call it? Like a lock-in nut, and you used to just tighten it against the other frame, and it wouldn't spin.
Right.
Whereas obviously this one, the only thing that stops it spinning, as you can see, is my handle's facing the wrong way.
Oh yeah, these reels don't lock. Yeah, I heard about this.
So the handles, if you look, the handles turn, so you turn them. That's how you lock them off.
Right, but it's not really locked because it can move both ways still.
Yeah.
And have you found any issues with that exhaust on the boiler?
No, so that my inverter is next to the. I can't move my exhaust to the boiler any further that way because it will melt my inverter.
Is the inverter on the wall to the right?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you get in the back of your van, or is that all?
Yeah, I can go the back door. I've got so much space in my van.
It looks like you've got hose reels at the back as well.
No, that's the old setup I took home. Oh,
I see.
Because I left it there because I didn't want to. I was hoping Darren would sell it, but didn't get around to it.
Right. Mate, I think I'm going to go. I'm tired.
Yeah, fair.
I've got a early morning tomorrow for this IPAF course. Have you done your IPAF?
Oh, that's fine. I did at the farm, yeah, but I think it's expired now.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me.
No worries, matey. Good
nice
to chat.
little impromptu chat.
Yeah. I didn't have any notes like I normally do, so I've just kind of been.
We don't need notes. We can waffle.
No.
Waffle about soggy sarnies. All right, mate. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Cool, mate. I'll speak to you later.
See you in a bit. If any of you guys want to go and follow Liam's channel on YouTube, it's LRS Exterior Cleaning. You can find him over there. He's got some good videos, does a lot of roof cleaning. Just got a bunch of new equipment. He's done a podcast with some people you may recognise. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll be here again, like I always am, same time next week, 7:30 Monday night. And maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe we won't. Hopefully. I'm sorry if I've missed some of your messages, because when I'm speaking to Liam, it's hard to read chat and respond to everyone. I hope someone got some sort of value from this. That's why I do it. I get a lot of messages throughout the week of people asking me for help and stuff, and I try and direct them to the live stream because this is the best way for me to sort of give back and answer questions. So thank you. See you next week. Please go and watch the latest video on YouTube. This one. Goodbye. 2p value.